President Trump, you are joining us tonight for the second time in 3 months. And we don't take that lightly. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you again to Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt and the White House press team. Thanks to the relentless WHCA board members, our executive director, Steve Thoma, and our general.
We are live.
For your hard work and friendship. I have to say thank you again to my CBS News family for enduring a second
ahead of a historic White House Correspondent'S dinner.
So much.
I just went live now because this is supposed to start closer to 9 p.m.
Thank you, Oz.
But just in case this starts early, I got the stream up.
For the record, he did guess Caroline's baby's name right.
Is the stream working?
Right, last time, and we can't wait to see what you reveal. But you can skip the part where you guess the president's phone number because half the reporters in this room already have it.
For some reason, I'm not seeing it on my phone. I think we're up and running.
Of the White House
I think stream is up.
Association.
This is Wei Zhang speaking
from around the world, across the political spectrum.
Right now,
Who sent well wishes after
the chief of the White House Correspondent'S Association.
You are joining us on live stream. C-SPAN is the crew, as it was that night. Photographers and technicians were under the stairs where the shooter was, but they never stopped rolling their cameras and transmitting live footage.
Do I know what this is on? Do you mean like where it's? I'm watching this from AP.
That night tested all of us.
Okay, so she's speaking about the first White House Correspondents' Association, obviously, back in
While journalists
April.
in the ballroom were gathering facts and getting them to the public, I got a rare glimpse of something few of
There's a lot of uncertainty
in a holding room,
with today's dinner, obviously.
asking questions, finding the best way to share the answers with everyone, which is our job description. I keep coming back to that split screen, not because it was dramatic, but because it quietly proved.
Do you know what this is on, his speech? Look, any knowledge of the weaving strike? I mean, the thought process for weaving is in relation to like Trump weave, obviously, like because he'll talk about the Trump weave. Not something he mentions frequently, hasn't mentioned a lot lately. Yeah, but just a lot of uncertainty in tonight's speech.
250 years of its extraordinary story.
Originally, when this was scheduled in April, a ton of news had come out regarding this speech, and Trump and Caroline, the White House admin, had hyped this up a lot. But there really hasn't been much communication since then. Obviously, it had a kind of sad ending. Is Trump only speaking once? I mean, supposedly, it's possible he could come back out again with some guest or something if they call him up to speak, but most likely only once. But at his dinner in April, he mentioned that he was going to really rip hard on reporters. Now there's question of... Yeah, there is a timer, so let me get a timer going, actually. It's a good call. But yeah, for the first one, he was supposed to attack like reporters pretty hard. Now there's question if he's going to do it again, basically, because when he had his press appearance after, he mentioned going a lot softer on the press. So we will see if that is what actually happens.
Hello from 1789. I'm James Madison. Yes.
I don't think I can see my stream. Is like... I might have to post it. Let me see. I don't think it's popping up on my Twitter. You're heavy on nose. Yeah, overall, honestly, I'm pretty heavy on nose myself.
Not when it's annoying. And not when it's asked.
It's, I guess my thought process for this is it's pretty, I don't have too many like big positions beforehand. My biggest position is Melania, no. But it's kind of difficult here to be very confident on anything in this, right? World Cup no at 49. Yeah, that's an incredible price. When was it even at that price? What is it now? 70. Yeah, that's great price. It's kind of hard to be like too confident on anything here. I mean, the speech is expected. Let me get my timer back up to go. 30 to 40 minutes.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Well, I see we're trying a new experiment this morning. I hope it doesn't prove to be a disturbing influence.
Our goal is to try to rock the boat, and we're supported
What's up, Dr. Slips?
by the First Amendment. I hope Ike would be proud of us.
It's such a weird one. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think most people are going to be. I have a good amount of positions. Like I said, my biggest one is Melania no going into this. I have about 6K Melania no. But, like, people were bonding fake news why at like 90-10 earlier today. I mean, I get it with this backdrop. You can understand why fake news would make sense, but
That's part of the process.
I just don't know how you could be that confident.
I don't want to be back at the White House today. It's a young person's game. And I have great
All the prices dropped when the lady came up that first time. Got a few good ones.
tougher job than
Yeah, I mean, I think the move was probably to get some of these no's.
I must say today, folks, the reporter
I actually, Gustavo, Movie Star, if you can get it in the teens, I did have a bid up at 15. I couldn't really get any fills. Not too much liquidity now, but I definitely would like Movie Star. I have Melania no at 60, but Movie Star at 15, I would definitely be on Y before I'd be on no. And then I have a bit of a Ron 3+ no I actually thought was pretty good, but I bought that closer to 60 cents. It's now kind of steamed up to 70. I guess like my thoughts here is, obviously we don't know how much policy we'll see from Trump tonight versus just jokes.
Right. I favored a free press while my predecessor here, John Adams, signed a sedition act that could imprison journalists for saying anything malicious against the government. I ended the unconstitutional law when I took office, and thankfully, it's never returned. Can't blame a guy for trying.
So which is it? Are you winding this down? Are you
crisis.
But yeah, I mean, how much policy talk versus purely jokes? And then, you know, another thing that's kind of interesting is in his last speech, obviously, he's worked with a lot of comedians to kind of write this. So, you know, that kind of means it won't necessarily, like, it might not necessarily be in his language.
Mr. President, are you? President, in talking about the continuing recession tonight, you have blamed mistakes of the past.
Epstein back to 93.6. Epstein, the most liquid strike on this whole event. That is kind of funny.
Why did you really want to go to war?
When we push them to answer questions on the record, they have an opportunity to explain their reasoning, explain their thinking, explain their goals.
Can you tell the country, sir, why you are content with the fanfare around this deal to leave the conscience of this nation and the strength of this nation unaccounted for in relation to these 4 Americans?
The notion that I'm content, Major, that's nonsense.
Let me turn this up a bit.
And you should know better.
Hello, everybody. Have a good
Well, you can't fall asleep on Air Force One because you never know when the president's going to come back and take questions.
It's going to be a very long trip, right?
Dan Compton, who's been with the president all day, is on the phone from Nebraska.
On 9/11, I was part of that small travel pool that the White House agreed to take on what was a 10-hour odyssey.
The president might be a target as well, and that is why he has come to as secure a place as he could.
The White House made sure that we had phone connections and that we had access to the president. It worked exactly the way it should.
So I dialed President Trump's number, and he picked up, just like
What are they?
anybody else.
I just got off the phone with President Trump. It was a roughly 9-minute phone interview.
I've covered 5 different presidents. I have never seen one other than Donald Trump, who regularly takes phone calls from reporters.
New media is massively important
Okay, they're talking about new
to our
media.
country.
since-
Here's what you missed if you weren't tuned in. We utilize social media to help people understand what we're talking about, breaking it down in digestible ways so that they can understand even the more nuanced news that's going on here at the White House. And today we went through the Rose Garden into the Oval Office. Just every single outlet that's at the White House is shaping the national news. All of these outlets have a place here, and all of our audiences deserve to know what's going on in our country and in this White House.
I don't think it's unusual for a president to be criticized. That seems to be one of the things that go with the job.
As we look back over history, almost without exception, the better
Why
presidents
do we
at
start
the
why
end of
good
their
if Melania
term
isn't there?
have
Just because
actually
like
thanked the press.
there's a
In
good
the
chance
spirit
he'll
of,
talk about
you
her.
had
I
your
mean,
job
in the
to
sense
do.
of like, I wish my wife was here or something.
I had my job to do,
I got
and
Melania
that's
at
the way the
60,
country
right?
belongs
So
together.
I have a lot of room where he could definitely
told,
still
in the greater scheme of
mention her
things,
name about her
you
not being
are,
there.
I hesitate
And then I
to
think
say
like
this,
if Melania
more
were to be
essential to
mentioned,
that
like
common
movie
pursuit
stars,
than I
a
am.
decent strike. You know, my wife, a movie
and that's
star
why
now.
freedom of the
But,
press is and must always be
yeah.
above politics.
It's kind of my thoughts on it overall.
My friends say, what is it like to deal with the press corps? I said, these are just people
I
that
did
try
have
to
a
do the
good
best
bit of
they possibly can.
You're not supposed to be sycophants. You're supposed to be
hoax.
skeptics.
Yes.
You're supposed to ask me
When
tough
it was like
questions
19 cents,
and
then
make
it
sure
steamed
that
all the way to like 40.
we are accountable
Then
to
I
the people who
sold it
sent us
out
here.
at
And you have
35
done that.
cents. Yeah, I mean, he definitely could bring her up. I just liked it when it was at 60, pretty close.
I wonder whether the founding fathers might look with delight at the kind of vibrant conversations that Americans today are having in the national media, in social media. It's a very vibrant conversation that has its roots 250 years ago.
The noise you experience today, though at times overwhelming, is not necessarily a sign of decay. It may in part be the sound of liberty exercising itself.
Where do I get my
somewhat
fast video
chaotically, to be
feed?
sure.
Right now I'm just watching Associated Press.
The true danger
So I don't necessarily
lies
have
not
the
in a press
fastest
that is
video
too
feed for
free,
this. I'm assuming White House will go live with it, but maybe
in
they
one
won't.
that forgets why it was made free at all. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and thanks for helping us reach 250 years.
The main
of American
Kalshi
democracy.
web and app has been like super slow today, so I'm a little worried that that's gonna like hurt the flow. I have to use Pro for this because, like I said, Kalshi web it's been super slow lately. I don't know if they fixed it, but like 30 minutes ago.
Thank you, founders. What a powerful reminder. By the way, that was AI, in case you missed it. What a powerful reminder that generation after
fake
generation,
news.
White House correspondents have the privilege of writing the first draft
Wow.
of history. Serving as president of our association has been one of the
All right, I'll click some at 9 cents.
great
Kinda
honors
came
of
back
my
down.
life. And as my final act, I
wanted
was
to get some
determined to
fake news
carry out
now
one
originally.
more event to highlight the strength of our press corps. I am honored to preside over this dinner, but I do have a fact check because technically my last day in office was last week. Our next chapter is in amazing hands with one of the fiercest women I have ever known. She is my wonderful friend, my partner in 2026-2027 WHCA President Jackie Heinrich, who I've asked.
Is Jackie Heinrich taking over?
Who I have asked to help present 2 very special awards. Jackie.
Thank you, Ouija, and good evening, everyone. Before anything else, I want to recognize Ouija Zhang for her leadership, her unwavering commitment to this press corps. Ouija, you have really represented this association with such professionalism. There we go. There we go. Just
Edwin, I just don't get how someone could be bonding it that high into like the 90s. Just like there's a lot of unknowns with this speech. Like sure, it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, these could say fake news in front of a ton of reporters, but I think over 90 cents is a little optimistic, but I don't know. Just a lot of unknowns here.
Not just for your example, but also more so for your friendship. And to our members, I am humbled that you put your trust in me to lead the White House Correspondents' Association for the next year. And I look forward to working alongside all of you as we continue our shared mission. Pursuing the facts without fear or favor and exercising the freedoms
Obviously, though,
protected by the
very,
First
very
Amendment
likely.
service of the American
But,
people.
like, do I think it's
The attempt on President Trump's
worth
life
90?
last April was a sobering reminder that democracy is not immune to violence and
Maybe.
freedoms that we cherish.
I don't know. It's just like there's no sample size on this. There's no historical, you know? Like,
Political violence
thoughts on Barack Hussein? No at 38.
in America.
Yeah, I don't know where I land on that strike, to be honest. I know a lot of people are very confident on it. Originally, I was actually going to be on nose here, but I just ended up not feeling confident either side. But, like, buying BHO at 62 does feel somewhat expensive, but, you know, he's supposed to make a ton of insults, make a ton of jokes.
And we are grateful to have President Trump here tonight taking part in this
Yeah,
tradition.
it does seem pretty likely,
that recognizes
but
the
it's
essential
pretty
role of
priced
free
in.
press in our democracy. Thank you, President Trump.
A really interesting one to me was oil. I mean, oil got down to, like, I think high 30s for no. I bought some, and then I found out who some of my counterparties were.
The all-American sense of resolve that no
6'7" no at 94. Lil, why would he say it during a scripted speech? 6'7" being scripted or not doesn't mean it won't say it. He just says it randomly.
Always finds a way
It
forward.
honestly seems to hit at a
In
pretty
that
high hit
spirit,
rate.
the WHCA Service Award was
Very
established
oddly.
to recognize exceptional service to this association, and it is fitting that one of the two awards that we are giving tonight goes to the staff of the Washington Hilton. They are hospitality professionals who always put service first. As harrowing events unfolded that night, their courage was on full display. The kitchen workers, the ballroom waitstaff remained at their posts. When President Trump urged that the evening should continue, they prepared to serve more than 2,600 guests while they were still processing the shock alongside all of us. And when the Secret Service made the necessary call to postpone the remainder of the program, they immediately pivoted, preserving every
They are talking a lot about this April event,
meal
which
and donating them
has to
to
make you
local
think for, like,
shelters.
ballroom. Be good for it.
And many of these dedicated professionals have worked dozens of White House Correspondents' dinners since this event first moved to the Washington Hilton in 1968. And 58 years later,
I'm Donnie No in ballroom. Why? He's definitely saying ballroom.
for their
Yeah.
partnership, we're proud of the history we've
Probably
built
why.
together, and we are excited to return to the Washington Hilton next year, stronger than ever. Please welcome the Washington Hilton's General Manager, Ken Jarka, and Catering Manager, Karen Fiquetis, to accept the WHCA President's Award for Exceptional Service on behalf of the entire Washington Hilton team.
Anything going crazy in the monthly? Man, the Cowsheet Web is, like, very...
Congratulations, and thank you, Jackie. I also want to thank the staff and security team right here at the Waldorf Astoria for putting so much time and care into helping us plan this event in a very short notice. That evening in April did not unfold as planned, but it ended exactly like it was supposed
Hopefully
to.
there's going to be some pretty decent live liquidity.
2,600 guests, plus hundreds of others who were working that night, got to go home unharmed. And that was made possible by the brave men and women of law enforcement and the United States Secret Service. On behalf of every person who was inside that ballroom, and every family who got to hear their loved one say, "Don't worry, I'm okay," we thank you. One officer placed himself directly in harm's way and engaged the armed suspect. Even after gunfire struck his protective vest, he stayed in the fight, and the attacker was stopped. I know many of us have wondered, what if he hadn't acted in that exact way? What if he had waited a few more seconds? His courage that night reflects the core values of the Secret Service: duty, justice, courage, honesty, and loyalty, and as a commitment to safeguarding his country and community. They also shaped his career, first as an infantryman and section leader in the United States Marine Corps, and since 2022 as an officer of the Secret Service, protecting the White House complex.
Been waiting for this Correspondent's dinner for so
Ladies
long.
and gentlemen, it is my honor to present the WHC
2.8 mil
President's
pre-market
Award for
volume, pretty
exceptional
good.
service to Officer Victor
How much of that
Gonzalez
is like
of the
Epstein?
United States Secret Service.
Epstein 300K. It's crypto 275K. Let's see, fake news 110K. Jeez. Should have had more positions on this. I mean, the prices are being kept pretty fair.
Thank you again, Officer Gonzalez, and to all the law enforcement officials who work around the clock to keep us safe. Democracy is defended in many ways, sometimes with a badge, sometimes with a notebook and a deadline. The White House Correspondent'S Association started as a group of 50 reporters, and I am proud that our membership hit a record number in 2025, more than 1,000 people, including many from new media outlets. Our press corps covers the presidency at all hours.
Rajon knows were really good yesterday. Yeah, I believe it. I gotta look at these Trump events earlier. I feel like that's been the story with almost every Trump event. They just get very efficient.
President here tonight, please stand.
Right up to the event.
Former board members, please stand.
I think something came out leaking like 40 minutes avocado, but I don't know actually. That's what I heard.
All current White House correspondents, reporters, producers, photographers, visual and audio journalists, please stand. And tonight, I also want to salute our colleagues in the Pentagon Press Corps. Your work is invaluable, especially as our nation is at war. Please stand. And now we turn our attention to future White House correspondents, our incredible scholarship award winners. Please welcome our Scholarship Committee Chair, who also serves as the WHCA Secretary, Brian Bennett of MS Now.
Hello, everybody. It means so much to be back together tonight. This is the part of the dinner each year that I look forward to the most. We have an incredible group of young journalists with us who are the recipients of this year's White House Correspondents' Association scholarships. Since 1991, the WHCA has awarded scholarships to hundreds of journalism students. This year, we are helping fund the education of 30. Pull out my remarks here. 30 students from 16 colleges and universities. They are from schools all over the country: Arizona, California, Illinois, Iowa, Maryland, Missouri, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Puerto Rico, Tennessee, Virginia, Washington, D.C. We have important partners who extend the reach of our giving, and you all are a part of that. The WHCA and our partners went to great lengths to make sure as many of our scholars as possible could be here tonight with us. And I'm happy to say that 26 out of the 30 of them were able to return for the second dinner. Some came back to DC from far away. Many were already here in Washington for the summer for journalism internships. When the April dinner was interrupted by the shooting, a lot of the scholars did what journalists do in dangerous situations. They started reporting. And they reported for their college newspapers. They are already showing their commitment to the work.
Let me try to get this timer back up.
Our dinner is the primary fundraiser for our association and our scholarships. And because of that generosity, we were able to increase the amount of several scholarships this year. Thank you for being a part of this and supporting this work. And we also want to say thanks to the America 250 Commission for your generous donation to our scholarship fund.
Wow, America 250?
The scholars not only receive financial help to pay for school. Earlier this year,
that might explain the 250 why it's been priced where it is.
They spent an afternoon with dozens of senior journalists who cover the White House.
The timer's for they have a market on how long it's
working journalists from the White House Correspondent'S.
So this should be good to track.
Who make a year-long commitment to offer advice and encouragement.
All right, so Trump was scheduled to come out at about
8:50 if I recall. And the WHCA Scholarship Program is a way that our association gives back and helps strengthen a new generation of journalists. Because of the commitment and your support, past WHCA scholarship recipients are now doing amazing things in journalism. We tracked some of them down.
Yes, 250th counts for 250.
Being a White House Correspondent'S Association scholar opened up a new world for me.
Being a scholar meant that I could have the financial freedom to do what I wanted.
Being a WHCA scholar gave me access to so many mentors and a world of opportunities here in Washington, D.C.
It gave me the chance to connect with other journalists, other members of the association.
Journalism is important, and especially here at the White House, where every day, every hour, every minute even matters. The decisions that are made here impact people across the country and around the world.
The idea that you get to be a part of the first draft of history, it all is extremely inspiring and drives me as a journalist.
There are so many pinch me moments covering the White House, watching world leaders arrive here, walking into the press briefing room, getting to see Marine One land on the South Lawn, and getting to ask the President of the United States a question directly. Being selected as a White House Correspondent'S Association scholar has played a huge role in my career.
I was there as President Biden gave a toast to the freedom of the press, and also as Kim Kardashian strutted across the runway and posed for pictures among a room full of talented journalists.
The stars, the outfits, the photographs, and I remember too
Biden.
that Brittany Griner had just returned home.
Any thoughts on crypto here? I think it's a very plus EV bond at 92. Simple as that. I mean, there's always a way for stuff like this to hit, but I mean, you have to think Trump bringing up crypto as a joke. Usually it's a joke at Trump. It's definitely good at 92. Fair value is probably 96, maybe 97, in that range.
Only journalists involved in this organization were willing to chat.
I mean, I probably should be punting some money at it, but I don't know. I already have a good amount on this across a bunch of random stuff. And I just haven't been like as locked in. This is an event that's like a little harder. I don't know. It's just like so many unknowns. Hopefully I can live trade it a bunch.
I can tell you, this year's scholarship recipients are also
Plus, to be honest,
really impressive.
Any event without Q&A fair, right? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty accurate. I'm also pretty just like, I don't know, I had a pretty crazy month that I'm like, I'm going to take some time off. This is probably my last stream in a while, because also getting married next week. Then going to be on a honeymoon for a while.
From Arizona State
So I'm like
University,
not
George
super
Headley,
focused on these
Elisa Horton, and Kyle
markets.
Zakinski.
I mean, it's hard not to be too focused on
From
tonight,
Hampton
but
University,
gonna take a few weeks to
Kristen
check
Llewellyn
out.
and Jade Abubakar.
Gonna reset my brain. It's gonna be
From
great.
Howard
I've not
University,
had a
Tatiana
break
Allen
in
and
like
Madison Maynard and
a very
Sandy
long
Lacoma.
time. Not that like I'm dying for a break. It's just it'll be good for me to reset. You know.
From Iowa State University, Eric Anderson.
Is there any world Trump doesn't
From
say fake
Northwestern
news? I do
University,
think there's a
Jeff
world, honestly. Like I have a little bit of
Caitlin
no,
Bender-Thomas,
but
Samantha
maybe I'm
Freeman.
stupid.
From Iowa University, Nyla Gilbert, Aiden Ryan, and
like it's obviously very thin worlds. I bought this in the single
from
digits.
Princeton University,
But
Ina Marcia.
I think there's a
From
world. I
Sagrada
mean, people
Corazon
don't know what
University
this
in Puerto
speech is
Rico.
going to be. Obviously,
Iana Sotovalle.
the general interpretation is he's talking to a bunch of
From
reporters.
Syracuse
How's this guy not going to say fake news?
University, Ben
But
Bassett.
like, you know, he could just bash on
From the
reporters.
University of California, Berkeley, Hae-Yoon
I don't
Cho.
know.
From the University
What
of
about
Kansas,
Democrat and
Julia
Biden?
Hansen.
I think
From
if
the
there's
University
one
of
character
Maryland,
he's going to
Laura
rip on a lot,
Thompson,
it's Biden.
Lillian Gray, Dana
So I think,
Matthews, Ashley
like,
Nader.
I would buy probably, yeah,
From the University
it
of
would be
Missouri.
insane for him not to talk about Biden here.
Callie Fowler, Tyler Kirwan,
And
Fletcher
then
Mantu.
for Democrat, the reason I think he's probably going to say
from
it
the University of
is he
Tennessee,
usually
Abigail
says,
Fanning.
usually there's some type of comment about unity where it's like Democrats and Republicans together.
Congratulations, Fowler.
But if that doesn't hit, then Democrats a little less of a total bond, especially when you have like Democrat, you have
There's one more
communists.
scholarship that requires special attention.
Thoughts on first term? Why?
This year,
I like it.
we've
If I had to
added a
lean one
scholarship
way,
at New York
I'd be buying yes at
University.
50-50.
It has been named
There's
in
just so
honor
many
of
ways
the
for him to
legendary
randomly
CBS News
include it in. I mean, he could even
White
talk
House
about,
correspondent,
like he said
Mark
in his first term, he wasn't going to go to the White House Correspondent's Dinner. Like, it's just so many angles for him to say first term that it's a strike I would never
As you
want
all
to be
know,
on no, especially at
passed
50-50.
away in August. And if you needed to know how many times the president had been to Camp David, or went on vacation, or played golf, Mark Knoller always had the facts, and he was always willing to share. To remember Mark and to commemorate the new WHCA scholarship at his alma mater, NYU, here is a tribute put together by his friend and CBS News chief correspondent, Major Garrett.
I'm Mark Knoller, CBS News, and you could say that I'm kind of the CBS News numbers man at the White House.
You could say that, but that's less than half the story.
Can you justify your role?
Mark did keep a log of presidential action.
Newscom seems high.
Everything from speeches and press conferences to vacations and foreign trips.
By my count, President Obama
What's that?
had 65
35?
domestic
I don't
trips
know.
in 2010,
I mean,
spanning
if you think about the
104
types of
days.
jokes he can make, one I think could be interesting to see is Graham Plattner. Reports did say he was going to joke about Swalwell, who his dropout was big in the news at the time. So maybe now that a few months have gone by and Swalwell's fallen out of the news, he'll replace him with Plattner.
Knoller.
I think Spencer Pratt could get mixed in here with some jokes about Democrats
To
cheating.
understand and cover a president, you had to know and remember all of a president's actions.
President Obama does like to play golf. Since taking office, he has played golf 57 times.
I'll be glad to answer a couple of questions. Mark Knoller, are you with us? You bet.
Those who watched Knoller work were left in awe.
It was not insane. I don't think it was that insane. I don't know. I had, if you remember, I had a ton of Pratt yes for his big announcement, and he freaking came so close to saying Pratt. Like, Pratt no bonders got so bailed out. I don't know why people were so confident of him not bringing up Pratt. He had been talking about Pratt. He still has pretty often the last few weeks. I think the fact that Pratt was so mispriced in the election market, people just like hear Pratt and they're like, it has to be good buying now. I don't know. What's the AP chat? Let me pull it up. How do I... Wait, let me refresh it. I must have deleted the chat. Is AP chat like a bunch of people? Oh my gosh. AP chat. Trump is the president. Epstein.
We are honored to be able to add a new scholarship in Mark's name in partnership with NYU's Arthur L. Clarke.
Very interesting AP chat.
And even more happy to announce that the first recipient of the Mark Knoller Scholarship is Avril Silva. Please stand, Avril.
Look at DMs. I'm looking. What is ARS, Foster?
Ladies and gentlemen, this year's WHCA scholarship students.
How much is that? That must be worth like nothing, Foster, because Argentinian pesos completely tanked, right?
Them jobs.
Oh my gosh.
Many of them are already doing amazing journalism.
Foster tipped in Argentinian pesos.
Thank you very much.
And says, Trump, please say. Oh my gosh.
Please welcome the chief correspondent for ABC News, the co-anchor of ABC's This Week, and former president of the White House Correspondent'S Association, Jonathan.
Not quite yet, actually. Sorry about that, John. You're gonna have to wait a second. We have a lot to celebrate this evening, everyone. We want to give a special thanks to those who value the work that we do, the freedoms that we stand for, including Paramount,
People are commenting
the
him
Emerson
saying hottest
Collective,
is
and
free
the Knight
money.
Foundation. All of them made donations to the WHCA after our April dinner.
How embarrassing.
And it is, by the way, our one fundraiser of the year. Their support will help our scholarship programs and our general operations in the next year. Thank you all.
No,
very
no,
much.
no, Foster, please don't. I don't want to get canceled. Let me make sure I have the. Wait, did the stream just end? Wait, what the hell?
Field, they will help us
Okay, no,
recognize
just
tonight's
weirdly.
award winners. Jonathan Karl is the chief White House.
Trump might be late.
Excuse me, chief Washington correspondent for ABC
The idea,
News.
dude,
He
Dr.
is
Slips,
the
that stuff was
co-anchor
scary,
of
by the way.
This
They were like
Week.
doxing
He is a
people.
former president of
Thankfully,
the
I'm already
WHCA.
doxed, but
He's got over 3 decades
I hope
of
Kalshi
experience
banned
in
those people that were
Washington.
like doxing
Four
people. No matter what happens, you can't be doxing
15
people
press
on
secretaries,
freaking
and just about every major
Kalshi.
beat
Like
in
what?
the city, and through it he has earned many of journalism's highest honors, including
If there's anything that's gonna make people scared to share positions, it's like that. And honestly, the reporting on that whole Brad Pitt attendance market seemed extremely wrong. Like it seemed that there were actually like it was a fair thing to argue. People were trying to point to it like it was just based on the announcers.
He's the host of the Situation Room, and he's been a staple of CNN's political.
They were doxing someone Roblox because he was their counterparty and was basically arguing something should be solved. No, the yes holders started doxing this big no holder. Or sorry, they started doxing this big yes holder. Flipped. And they were doxing his IRL name and ideas on Gauchi. It's like some crazy. Okay, Trump might be like really late. We got Wolf Blitzer now.
I'm standing up. Thank you very much for that really nice introduction. I'm so grateful, I'm so honored to be with all of you this evening. Each year, a panel of independent judges review dozens of entries for the 5 major WHCA Journalism Awards. And it's my honor tonight to announce this year's winners. And I'd like to point out that this is really a special night for me. I don't know if many of you were at the first White House Correspondent'S Association dinner in April, but it was, for me, it was very memorable indeed. And I can report this time, after the first chorus, I did not go to the men's room.
Isn't this supposed to be a comedy? Wolf's one of the least funny people I've ever seen. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty serious event
as a White
so
House
far.
correspondent, and I just want to remember with real excitement and passion who often came with me to these dinners over these many years, and that was the man who hired me at CNN.
Yeah, they still
the man
haven't
who
resolved
created
the Brad Pitt
CNN, the
market,
late
which is kind of
Ted
funny.
Turner, who recently passed away, and he was not only a mentor and a good friend, but he loved journalism. When he hired me, he said, "Remember, Wolf, we're the cable news, capital N, capital E, capital W, capital S network. This is where the news comes first, and don't forget that. Forget about your own personal opinions. Just report the news fairly and accurately, and if you can, do it first." And that's what I've been trying to do over all of these years. So let's remember Ted Turner, what he did for not just for CNN, but for CNN and all of the news organizations over these many, many years. The Aldo Beckman Award for Overall Excellence in White House Coverage, named for the late Chicago Tribune correspondent and former association president Aldo Beckman, goes to, let's give him
All right,
a
it's
big
4
round of
minutes from
applause,
9.
Josh Dawsey of the Wall Street
All right, I gotta
Journal.
lock in, man. Whenever I stream, I stop focusing on the market. I'm not looking at the freaking prices. What am I doing? Are they gonna drag this
The
thing on?
judges said Josh Dawsey shows us how power works inside the presidency. And over the past year, his reporting has revealed
Foster's
how
locking in, too.
decisions are made, who influences them, and how power is exercised at the highest levels. Josh Dawsey went far beyond the deluge of breaking news to offer invaluable insights
Sorry,
that can only
Ivan.
result from deeply sourced enterprise reporting. In the tradition of Aldo Beckman, he exemplifies integrity,
Honestly, Ivan, in terms of like what
persistence,
maybe is still
and a
good at these
steadfast
prices, I
commitment
don't know.
to
I mean, it's not good
holding
enough for me
power
to buy,
account.
so take that with a grain of
Ladies
salt.
and gentlemen, the
But like,
WHCA is pleased to give the Aldo Beckman
World
Award
Cup, no.
to Josh Dawsey.
I don't know why you would say World Cup. That's something that looks quick song. It's kind of steamed. I can't believe you could buy No at 55 earlier today. Like,
Let's continue with the awards. Thank you. The WHCA gives out 2 awards for reporting under deadline pressure. One for print.
we'll
and
know
one for
pretty soon
broadcast.
like what type of speech this is going to be. I will
This
say.
year's print winner is Amr Madhani and Zeke Miller of the Associated Press. When sources leaked that Trump administration officials were attempting to purge the National Security Council of staff deemed not sufficiently aligned with the president's agenda, Madhani and Miller quickly moved to verify the claim. They uncovered an unprecedented vetting process. NSC staffers were asked about their past political contributions, voting records, and social
Why
media
ain't I got
posts
fast forward
as
extension?
a gauge of loyalty to the president.
That's literally what I have.
More than 150 NSC aides were removed, resulting in the loss of considerable foreign policy expertise.
That's
the
what you
story
just
that
saw
Madhani
right
and
there.
Miller produced is as consequential as it is
Look.
revelatory. Please welcome Zeke
Ding,
Miller
ding,
accepting
ding.
the award on behalf of the team.
I can't fast forward through this live Wolf Blitzer stuff though.
Now the Broadcast Award for Excellence Under Deadline Pressure. And this year's winner is my colleague and very good friend, Caitlin Collins of CNN.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Nisman, that is what it's supposed to be. But like, there's still the questions too. Is like, Adam, there hasn't really been that much new reporting on this event since the first Correspondent'S dinner. So there's questions over like, how much is he going to lean into attacking reporters versus what he initially planned? Because obviously they all kind of shared a moment together. But you know, it'll probably be the same as what it was before. But even then, it's like, how often do you get that type of context of something? Like, Trump isn't in those contexts very often.
WHCA is pleased to honor the deadline reporting of CNN's Kate.
Thank you for teaching you Kaushi. You are welcome. Do I think Biden Y is still low? I mean, it feels probably low, yeah. Like, I wouldn't buy no here. I don't really know the context he doesn't hit Biden. Oh, that's Kathleen Collins. It's kind of cool that I watch all these mentions. I know, like, all of these White House reporters. I can almost name all of them. So that's Wei Zhejiang. She's the head of the Correspondent'S dinner. She just moved away. That was, I think, Kathleen Collins, right?
And now the award for excellence in presidential news coverage.
They're doing more awards.
By visual journalists. This award recognizes a video or photojournalist for covering the presidency at the White House or in the field. And this year's award goes to Andrew Harnick.
Trump's going to present an award, right?
He captured the moment an Oval Office visitor collapsed during an event. And from the judges, they say this: through sharp timing, layered composition, and visual irony.
Oh, Caitlin Collins? Did I call her Kathleen?
Documents a true split-screen moment in real time. The president's orientation and posture inadvertently echo the statue to his right, while the other half of the frame is defined by movement. A truly striking image of contrast, skillfully captured in a chaotic moment. Please join me in congratulating Getty Images photographer Andrew Harnick, who also represents still photographers on the WHCA board.
All right. Is Trump coming up now? See, Trump looks pretty unifying, right?
There are more.
Oh, man.
And now the Katharine Graham Award for Courage and Accountability, named for the legendary Washington Post publisher. And it comes with a prize of $10,000. This year's award goes to the Wall Street Journal.
This is going to be very long.
The Journal's courageous reporting on President Trump's past relationship with financier Jeffrey Epstein triggered the release of the so-called Epstein files, thousands of documents that might otherwise have remained hidden from the public. And despite the president's threat of a lawsuit, the Journal published a story about a provocative letter to Epstein bearing President Trump's signature. Trump
Oh shoot, I had some money on the 3-point
$1 billion
contest
lawsuit against the Journal
for WNBA.
revealing reporter Khadija Safdar's home address. Her family had to be relocated. The Journal was kicked off of Air Force One, but the reporters continued to file revelatory stories. Please welcome the winner.
This is funny
of the
seeing
Katharine
them
Graham Award from the Wall Street Journal.
awards for
Khadija
Trump, like
Safdar,
kicking them off his
Sadie Gurman,
jet.
Annie Linsky, Josh Dawsey again, Alex Leary, Rebecca Ballhouse, and Ryan Barber. Their colleague Joe Palazzolo could not attend tonight.
Okay. My WNBA bet didn't hit.
The Collier Prize for State Government Accountability is presented by
Bridget
the University of
Carlton to
Florida
win, but didn't hit
College of
either.
Journalism and
I had like that huge long shot. I just had a little bit on it. I had like
And this is the
3K
award's
shares at 6
7th
cents.
year at dinner, and it comes with a check for $25,000. It's a lot of money. This year's award goes to Care 11 in Minneapolis for its investigation, Housing Hustle. The investigation exposed a massive organized fraud scheme within Minnesota's Housing Stabilization Services program.
Same G
a
as 72
Medicaid-funded
kids.
safety net meant to help people with disabilities.
Yeah, I know
and
two
those
people with
facing
big Epstein
homelessness,
violations.
find
To
and
be
keep
honest, like,
housing.
I definitely don't think
Reporter
Epstein
AJ
is zero.
Legault uncovered ethical and oversight breaches at the highest levels. The investigation
I don't know. I
drove
think
sweeping state
fair is
reforms
probably in the range of like
and
3
waves of federal
to
probes
5 cents,
and
maybe.
charges.
5
Said
cents
one
is like a
Collier
ceiling.
juror. Care 11's rigorous and piercing investigation of Medicare fraud had undeniable impact, including the suspension of more than 130 companies from the ability to bill Medicaid, the state terminating the HSS program, the firing of the state official in charge, federal raids, subpoenas, indictments, and
Holden, I'm sorry. Someone
and
told
enhanced
me.
screening,
Someone told me it was a good bet.
and suspension powers
It was
were
6
regulated.
cents.
Here to
All right.
accept the award from Care 11, our reporter AJ Legault and producer Gary Knox.
Look, I know some people that have a big Epstein no position, so I don't want them to lose. But at the same time, it would be some chaos if we were to get an Epstein mention. And if there were any context to where Trump could actually hit it in a speech, this would be it. Obviously, it's typically a strike that only would ever come up during Q&A, but like, maybe there's a way he can make a joke with it, if he's really in a funny mood.
The Center for Integrity in News Reporting Award honors the most fair, impartial, objective news reporting
It's a great
by
spectacle.
a member of the WHCA
Yeah.
that has the courage.
It would be hilarious. I mean, we had crypto yesterday, although crypto yesterday wasn't as much of a long shot.
By the Arkansas-based Center for Integrity in News Reporting, and comes with a prize of $25,000. The award goes to Tyler Pager of the New York Times. The judges said that in his coverage of the first year of President Trump's second term, Pager demonstrates a disciplined, even-handed approach across a wide range of subjects, including supporters and
Good,
donors,
Carson.
foreign policy, the
You
Justice
gotta
Department.
just... Carson, what I will say was,
The story
buying
gives readers
Hope
inside
Snow at
consequential
81, because I'm
presidential
sure you
decisions
and Harry were my
while presenting the
counterparty,
facts.
that
The
was
work is deeply
not
sourced
sharp.
and
I don't care what anyone
carefully
says.
verified, reflecting a clear dedication to getting it right without bias. Taken together, this body of work stands as a strong example of fair, impartial, and objective journalism. Precisely the standard this award is intended to honor. Let's hear it one more time for this year's winners. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Alright, someone's telling me that Natasha missed her first 7 shots. Are they moving crazy still, Ken? I haven't been looking at them. I saw they were at 30 earlier, then they steamed up to like 40s. Let me pull up the timer markets.
And it's now my pleasure to introduce my good friend, longtime colleague, Jonathan Carl.
All right, final award of the
Final award. Okay, so then we'll get into the Trump speech.
It is a high
So it must be
honor
coming very soon.
the award created to recognize the
30 a minute, 18 and it's over 60 now. I think some type of reporting, Ken, came out that it would be over 40. I want to say I haven't seen the reporting myself, but somebody told me about that.
Give a big thank you to Weijia Zhang.
Something came out about it.
Weijia, your leadership.
I don't know why I can't find the timer market.
Steadiness was in short supply. You refused to let an act of violence take this dinner away from us.
Oh, is
And
she winning
because
an
of
award?
you, it has gone on.
Weijia Zhang is one of the
Insisted
greatest
that
White House reporters.
Awesome, courageous. And Mr. President, I want to say it matters that you came here tonight.
I'm so excited. Why do they even give him? Is that Diet Coke?
More
It's
than
gotta be
100
Diet Coke.
years, presidents have chosen to sit
Here we go, man. It's gonna be fireworks.
reporters who ask tough
I'm
and
so
often
pumped.
uncomfortable questions.
Hey, what's going on, Evan? You can't be missing the White House Correspondent'S dinner. It's my last stream before I'm in California.
In that spirit, I am thrilled to present an award named after
Oh,
two
maybe
women
they were
who
looking
didn't
at the
just
old
cover
article.
history, they helped make it. In 1947,
Let's get
a
fake
woman
news off
joined the
jump.
White
I guess
House
I'm gonna be
press corps.
dead right in the beginning.
Changed it
The
forever.
main thing I want to dodge right off the jump is Melania. If we can survive with no Melania in the first minute when he thanks her and says she couldn't make it, I'll be okay. Or I'll be dead on arrival.
And just a few years later, she was joined by Ethel.
I got
Kane.
killed in the
Together,
last big Trump mention. Don't forget that.
they looked the
In
most
his
powerful
prime time,
man
I lost
in the
like
world
6K.
in the eye, and
But
to
I've had a
man
great month outside of
needed
that, so.
answers about civil
But,
rights in Latin America.
you know, my
President
recent string with big Trump events
Eisenhower
has not been
didn't
good.
always welcome those questions, but Alice and Ethel kept going and kept showing up, and they kept asking. The WHCA Dunnigan Payne Award for Lifetime Achievement exists
You lost
to
7.5
honor
on
their
prime time?
legacy and to
Based. What did you lose a ton on?
journalists
Like
who
BHO
followed
or
in their
something,
footsteps
Carson?
by breaking barriers for future generations. So tonight, it is
If he doesn't hit
a
World
privilege
Cup or
to present
affordability, I'm bailing out. Falling out. Oh.
two
Those
women
are...
who did exactly
Did
that.
I fall off?
In a
Adam?
field long
I did
dominated
not
by
fall off.
men,
This was
Melissa
literally
Young
my
and
greatest
Susan
month
Balch each built extraordinary
by like
careers as
multiples
photojournalists,
of
not
previous
by
months.
waiting for doors to be
It's
opened, but by
this month was absolutely insane. I've never been this lucky in my life. Like this was the craziest. July for me was just the most absurd month. I will never be lucky again. I will never run good again because all of my run good was for this month.
She began in local television in Miami and worked her way to Capitol Hill in the White House, where she was one of the first female
Chat.
photojournalists.
So, okay, to explain it, Chet, because I don't want to be misleading. The slip I posted was not the only position I took. I think you guys know I'm not just like betting sports pre-marketer stuff. It's obviously more complicated than what I posted, but I don't want to leak specifics of what I was arbing with multiple positions. But in general, I did make 30K on the 0-0, and I was directional towards the 0-0. But it was not as simple as me just buying that slip, you know? But it was true in the sense that, like, I actually made a little more than was on that slip, but I was not, you know, I'm not going to, like, show all the different, whatever, markets or...
Her promised job fell through after a college internship. She called the AP's Boston bureau
Let's go.
every single day for 3 weeks.
We're about to get completely rinsed here, though.
Well,
Trump's going to come out and he's going to say, my wife, Melania. White House stream live on X?
She worked her way up.
So that's going to be faster. Shit, I didn't know White House was going to stream this.
Marathons, 5 Olympic
Let's
Games.
compare White
She
House
transferred
to...
Washington in 1997. And from there, she went on
So that White House is live, meaning Trump's going to come out like any
US
second
president,
now.
from Jimmy Carter to President Trump.
I hope I don't have to use the White House stream. I hope AP is fast. You would think AP would be fast. I mean, it's a reporter's event.
White House press corps. In 1999, she was part of the AP team that was
Yeah,
awarded
I
the
see White
Pulitzer
House
Prize
stream.
for featured photography for her coverage of President Clinton's.
He's got to be coming out very soon.
She also served as the White
And
House
this is going so late. I thought this would be a 7 p.m. event. I have to leave at 6:30. I do engage chat. You're just saying the N-word in my chat. What do you think I'm gonna? What do you want me to say to that?
With her son. Alice Dunnigan and Ethel Payne showed us what it looks like to refuse to be pushed aside, so that they could keep bearing witness to what matters most.
Off jump, I'm just gonna say I love Melania. She loves me despite what the fake news says. She's always with me. She's with me during the World Cup and UFC. Exactly. That's how it's gonna go. That's how you know I'm washed.
And a legacy that honors everything this award stands for.
You know me? I know you IRL? Text me.
Purpose. I had a lot of fun.
Now I'm wondering who
I
this
saw
is.
myself as part of the world that I was doing something that the world needed. I was always really excited to be in the room, see it, be a part of it.
Check the timing market. Is it like
gave me
steaming?
the access and the confidence to go up to people and
Foster's alt, maybe.
look into other people's worlds.
I wish I could check the timing market more easily, but like the Kalshi front end right now is like, I don't know if you guys are experiencing it too, but it's been like crazy slow, but let's see.
And that's when I had to be someone who I wasn't really sure I recognized all the time. 8 inaugurations.
I mean, it's like
5
freezing and I
Olympics,
can't
6 Super
find it
Bowls,
on,
World Series, lots of sporting events, APEC summits, NATO summits. You traveled in a way you would never do as a regular person.
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll down. It's just like, okay.
Fidel Castro.
So 40 and above, yeah, has
and
completely
I was just walking
steamed.
around and, you know, just like sort of going, well, you know, here I am. One of the craziest, wildest ones that I'll always remember is when I was with President Trump at the DMZ. I swear there were times that I don't think my feet hit the ground as we were being moved, and it was such a chaotic, crazy thing. 9/11 happened, and that just completely changed my life. That's when different kind of
That seems
travel
long
started
to
for
you?
me. When they asked me to go with President Bush to Iraq, there I was, and an Iraqi journalist stood up in front of me, literally
Lagging
in front of me,
volume
and threw a
wise?
shoe
Because I wonder if their front end being very slow and app being very slow is hurting their flow.
Jumped on him. I was right behind him. I remember trying to.
I mean, look, I would love for this to be a short event. I'm on all
so I
nose.
could keep shooting, and then
So,
when it was finally over, they rushed.
I would be very happy with
to
that.
do an interview with the president. I think I started to see that what I did.
Alright, I'm going to close out of a bunch of
really
tabs.
important.
Make sure
I was
everything's
traveling
fast.
overseas with Jill Biden, and we slowly went into Ukraine, get the picture of First Lady Biden meeting Mrs. Zelensky, and for all of the, I love you guys, my writer friends, but for all you writer friends who didn't want to give me a spot in the van, and
Hard to take
my
Trump under.
picture
Yeah.
ended up on the front page everywhere.
Can't believe it's already
And your stories got
9:20.
bumped inside. Sorry.
This is the White House Correspondent'S dinner,
We'll
Shirley.
follow through on this, especially in television, because it really is a great
Trump's
job.
gonna come out any minute.
Compliment to be considered one of the boys or the guys, and now that I'm older and there's many more women doing this job, I'm like, you know what? We're gonna claim our space. You guys. can be one
Roblox,
of
they
the
did
girls.
some
'Cause
update
we
to
got
their
this.
app, and I think there's negative,
got this.
I don't know, things happening. Because the web has been super slow. I haven't tried the app, but
All right. Please join me in welcoming Susan and Melissa to the stage.
oh, it's other people, man. What are we doing? They're really trying to pump the viewership ahead of another one for Trump. Yeah, Chet. That's what happened. That's what happened to me earlier today. That's why I switched to Pro, because Pro is fast for this. Like doesn't have anywhere near the same, you know,
Can I say this?
lagging.
It's pretty awesome. I spent
So
most
that's
of my
one
career
benefit to
down in there,
Pro.
So I thank all the photographers and the photojournalists who had to cover this event.
Reported a tennis
So
injury and
it's
ain't
really
paid
pretty
yet.
cool to be up here and just kind of be a guest tonight. But they were gracious enough to give me an opportunity to say some things, so I'd like to say some things. First, Rita,
Yeah, it's definitely very important.
Jackie, and the entire Correspondent'S board, I just want to thank you guys.
I didn't
so
stream
much
Trump's
for
event
selecting
earlier
me to
today,
share me and Melissa.
but I wanted to try out live clicking just while I wasn't streaming and could just fully focus on the event.
The world to me.
And it was the greatest thing ever. I clicked like 850 on it. Just no positions pre, just live clicking.
So much, not because it's named
With like a
two
fast stream.
incredible trailblazers.
Not clicking as words were said, but
Amazing women.
clicking like
But because
qualitatively,
honestly,
right?
I
Like
felt that this
if
association
Trump
didn't
starts
always,
talking about,
you
you know,
value what we did as photographers.
we're a great country,
And,
you know,
there are
clicking
many times
hottest early before
Melissa and I
price
were the
moves,
only
you know,
two
stuff
women
like
in the
that.
White House travel poll, and I just
Made
have to say,
good bit of profit on that.
things have changed. and
Even
I
though
love it.
order books are very liquid. I mean, I probably ran pretty well. Like I got Windmill at like 15 cents. I don't know why I ever got that cheap, but it was nice. What was my WNBA bet? It was something stupid. It was on the 3-point. One of my friends in sports was like thinking it was mispriced because it's it was stupid. We could have gotten a better price on sports books, so it was definitely dumb. But I'm in a mood where I'll punt money now because I've had a good month, and I only put like $200 on it. Probably not the healthiest thing that I can just punt $200 and not even think about it, but I should, yeah. Anyways, we got the Correspondent'S dinner coming up. Trump probably has nightmares about windmills. Well, anytime he's talking about nuclear energy, he got a question on windmills, and rather than try to click windmill, I clicked China, because China hadn't moved, and then obviously if he gets on windmill, he's going to talk about China. You do better when he's out of the oval. The trick to the oval is, I swear to God, yeses are always underpriced in Oval Office events because in the oval, this guy will ramble forever. He's going to get a ton of questions. Like Iran 3+ was like 60 going into the event with everything going on in Iran. Fact it's in the oval. He's going to get a million questions on Iran. Granted, there's only like a little bit of liquidity. Maybe you get 500 shares, so it's like whatever, but it's nice. Yeah, Windmill UK for sure.
ABC has been breaking barriers.
If you guys have a very small port and you're trying to make a little bit of money,
is in our DNA.
Obviously,
Being part of
everything
this
is
work
risks, but
has
like,
always been my goal.
if you get very
Although this
sharp
sounds
at watching a ton
simple,
of Trump
to
mentions and
achieve this,
knowing like point A to point B,
I've always had to fight.
of like he
I'd
brings
fight to
up
go
one thing, he's
places
gonna
where they
talk
didn't
about
send me.
another.
I'd fight to disasters in war
There's
zones.
definitely
I'd fight to be
money
part of the
in
White
like
House
live clicking Trump speech because you can pick up 100 shares, 50 shares here or there, like.
I'd fight
And
to
if
do an
you're
Oval
someone with like a $500,
Office address.
$100, whatever
And on a personal
bankroll,
level,
it can be
I'd
nice
like to have a
and
family
a little bit lower
focused on my
variance too, because you
24/7
can
job.
kind of almost
Thank you
pass
to
post.
the White House Correspondent'S Association for recognizing me, the first female broadcast camera person for this honor.
TV is
I am
delayed sports, I think. Oh yeah, you
so
cannot
to
at
receive
all
this
click
award
sports with TV. I say this as someone who
for a lifetime
like I
of
trade
dating
sports
parents.
markets and market make them. Like
I've been
I
fighting for
spend a
44
like
years
lot of
to
money
be the
to have
best
really good
at
infra for sports.
capturing all the
Uh,
action at
what
the
you
White
see on
House
TV is
since
like
Ronald Reagan.
minimum
Reagan.
15
My
to 30
advice,
seconds delayed.
keep
Probably
up the
even
good
more
fight
if you don't know how to like
tear
reduce
down those
latency for
walls.
things.
Thank you.
So like if you try to live trade a sports game based off of just what you see on the TV, it's going to be like so negative EV because you're not even gonna like you're gonna have just such incomplete information. It's crazy. World Cup of 45 seconds late. Yeah. All right. What are we doing? Yeah, exactly. ETF FaceTime. There's a lot of people that courtside, but I mean, honestly, like, courtsiding is good. Like, you could probably, you know, but
Congratulations again to all of
it's
our
not even that
honorees
good
tonight.
anymore. There's
I am
so many good
confident
ways
that
to
one
get
day our
like I'm
winners
confident I
could
could
be
make
the
more
ones taking
money
home awards.
on
After
most
all,
games
not
at
all.
home rather than courtsiding,
Audio,
just because I'd have to be on my phone
Young
and like
people passionate about
I've like never
journalism
really courtsided heavily, but
and
like
determined to make it work.
I just feel like there's a lot more you can do when you have a whole computer. Like my home computers, I have multiple screens. Maybe I'll have like a few seconds of delay compared to if I was like at an event.
Yeah, in a town at the foothills of the Allegheny Mountains, a town called.
Was Grande at the finals?
Population 5,500. Those
Man. can't believe
images
it's
of the
9:30,
devastating
still
floods that you've been seeing are from my hometown.
I'm gonna be
My
sleep
heart, thoughts, and
deprived
prayers are
flying
with everybody
to
there.
California
After my dad
tomorrow.
finished grad school at WVU, where he properly learned how to say, "Let's go Mountaineers," my parents decided to stay in the state. To open a
Also,
restaurant.
people pre-buy courtside. Yeah, I mean, you'll see people
Hunters came in and left deer
miss
meat
spawn
as a
courtsiding
tip.
for sure.
On Sundays after church, families packed into the dining room, all dressed up. My mom learned every customer's name, their favorite dishes. I worked the cash register, topped off glasses of sweet tea, and did my homework in the corner booth.
Yeah, I mean, Ken, you could probably do it for like stuff that, like you were saying with
Looking back, to think that days like that could be
the non
ordinary is the most powerful reminder of how extraordinary.
like moneyline sports market
America
stuff.
is. My
You could
dad
probably
moved
get
to
some
the US
clicks.
as a student
Like
with
for
just
Justin
7
Bieber
bucks.
first song, Ken, there was 10K sitting at 60 cents. I had a really low latency stream to click that it wasn't
My mom holding a small
I can't
suitcase in one
remember
hand
what
and a
song it
toddler
was,
me
like the one they
the
had.
other. Yet they built a
But
new
there was
life,
10K
a
sitting at
successful
60
business
cents,
and a real future.
and I hesitated too long because I just am not that confident on
Chinese
fucking
restaurant
Justin
was the first
Bieber.
in my
But it was a
town.
free click
Those
for like 4K.
5,500 residents.
I missed it. I was like
Chinese-American
half a second too late.
population of Cannon was 3. My mom, my dad.
Oh yeah,
and me.
Despacito. Someone was like crazy confident
Growing up
Despacito.
there
And then it was
was
some
not
song
always
nobody knew.
easy. Most
And yeah,
folks had
10K
never
was sitting at 60 for no.
laid eyes on people who looked like
While
white
the song
families.
was playing, the
But
first
far
song.
more often than not, the community was welcoming and generous. Turns out deer meat
Exactly, Ken. That's why I was like,
in Mandarin, the word
we got a new chatter in here, Sharpie1203.
literally means beautiful.
Is this the Sharpie that I know?
I love that.
Or is this
American
a
Beautiful
different
was never
Sharpie? I
only
know
about
someone else called
the
Sharpie.
landscapes or landmarks. It has always been about the promise that no matter where you come from,
Yeah, Coldplay played like the last song. It wasn't even their
my
song.
dreams began right there there in that
All right, I
fabulous
really
shot.
hope
A
AP is
small
fast.
TV
I
in
don't
the
have to
back
switch
was
to the
also
White House
the
stream. The
news.
White House
My
stream
dad's
has so many
go-to
glitches on
for learning
Twitter.
more English. In the middle
I
of
want to
dinner
just
service,
watch
it
this
was
on
the
AP.
CBS Evening
But
News anchored by Dan Rather.
I'm not gonna lie,
I was hooked.
guys.
In middle school, I wanted
If this stream comes up and I have to watch White House stream, I'm letting you guys know now so I don't get a million questions. If White House stream is the fastest, it probably will be. I'm gonna play it at 1.5x. Be ready for a ton of freezes, a ton of buffering. You guys are gonna get annoyed. You're gonna say, "Why don't you play it at 1x? Why is it buffering? Are we behind?" We're not gonna be behind. No, the Sharpie guy's the same guy. Did he make a new account?
years later, it's surreal to say that I've sat in
He's back, dude. Oh man, there's nothing you can do.
He and I have talked about how the White House beat and the White House Correspondent'S Association.
I don't know who this guy is.
A boys' club. For decades, women could be members, but they were not invited to sit at this dinner until 1962, when a woman who would become dean of the press corps insisted. Thank you, Mrs.
All right, let's.
So tonight it means everything to stand here as the first woman of color ever elected.
All right.
President
I
of
want
this
to
association.
make sure.
112-year history.
I'll shoot front end to be freaking super slow. All right, I want to make sure I have no bids up.
Because of the tenacious women who came before me.
Need to make
Melissa,
sure.
Susan, and support from my family who are with us.
I have no bids.
Tonight. My husband Luther, not from
I
West
don't think I
Virginia,
have
but
any.
Arkansas.
Yeah, I have no orders up. I'm gonna be good.
My amazing daughter Frankie. Little brother Jack, who's
Okay, I
should
can
be
even load
sleeping
the
by
front
now.
end to check if I've.
I love you.
I don't think I have any resting
than
orders
anything
up.
in
I
the
think I'm
world.
good,
I love you the
but I
most.
don't know.
My parents came to a country with almost nothing to give their daughter.
See, how is
and now
Trump
I
gonna
have
come out here and like rail on all of
Thank you
them?
to be with me in this moment. Mama, Baba,
Trump has to win a war. No time for this. Hey, not gonna lie, kind of speaking facts.
And sitting with them, my
The war
middle
is
school video
not
production
going
teacher,
very
Mrs.
good right
Diane
now.
Williams, who spent countless hours on my submission.
All right, I have no resting orders up.
That changed
That's all I
my
need to see.
Like public school teachers across the United States, Mrs. Williams looked at a 13-year-old kid and said, "You can be whatever you want when you grow up," and she meant it. My story is like that of so many in this room and in this country, only in America.
War of parked ships with no enemy to negotiate with.
Only in America could a little girl born in China and raised in Appalachian coal country make her way to the Oval Office to ask questions of the President of the United States.
Oh, it's gonna be so late.
Because
Tell
when
me
you
Trump is speaking after her.
your home, you inherit something remarkable. The protections in the First Amendment. Free religion. free speech.
I don't think it's gonna impact him too much, to be honest, Roblox. Like, I don't read into that stuff too
This
much.
fundamental right belongs to everyone.
I tend to think
That's
other
exactly
people
what the
read into
founders
it a little too
were
much.
thinking about when they protected a free press. Everyone. All Americans. We're not thinking about reporters. A free press is not a
Wow, she's gonna talk about free press right before Trump comes out. That's big. I'll turn her up a little bit.
No matter
Because
who
I do
you
love
are,
Wei
the freedom to
Zhejiang.
criticize
She's a great
without
reporter.
fear of being destroyed, that's not a bug in our democracy. It's supposed to be the feature. In 1786, writing from Paris,
Face
Thomas
purple.
Jefferson
I guess this doesn't load
told his
emojis.
friend back in Virginia, "Our liberty depends on the freedom of the press, and that cannot be limited without being lost." 5 years later, that thought was enshrined in the Constitution after Jefferson urged James Madison to include a Bill of Rights. Many founders couldn't stand the press.
Rinsing retail and colluding. Damon
They
Kaufman.
understood if our access is restricted, it's really the people's access to information that is limited. If the media faces government pressure or censorship, it's the people who end up knowing less. That was true
My
then,
stream's
and it's true.
getting raided.
But having press freedom comes with a tremendous responsibility. We can't demand accountability without practicing it. Criticism of the media can be unfair. People can also be legitimate. We get a lot right, but sometimes we get things wrong. We mistake proximity to power for understanding it. And at times we get trapped in our own bubbles. There is a difference, though, an existential difference between criticizing the press and trying
Do
to
I watch on
undermine.
X or
One is
YouTube?
healthy and it makes
Fastest
all of us
stream
better.
for this.
The other is exactly what the
AP's
founders
pretty
hoped.
fast right now. I mean, AP usually is
Around the
pretty fast on YouTube. They're usually one of the
world,
fastest
press freedom
streams.
is not
And
guaranteed.
then
In many
for
countries,
X,
reporters
White
who
House
criticize the
stream.
government and are detained without trial, their stories erased. In the
X
worst
White House
cases,
stream
they
is pretty fast.
never
But
made
I
it.
don't know which is going to be the
Tonight,
faster
we think
one.
about all of them, and we think about the protections that set us apart as a nation. Just 20 days ago, America turned 250 years old. The First Amendment is a big part
She's speaking
of
pretty
how
long.
she made it this far, and it falls on all of us to make sure it carries her through to the next 250 and beyond.
They started the White House stream pretty
President
early.
Trump,
It's been up for like 30 minutes.
I've covered you for a long time, and so have many reporters in this
Well,
room.
20 minutes.
When we ask questions, you push back, you give us answers, and we
So
push
she's
back.
being pretty kind
You have
to
always
Trump.
been a deal guy. Well, that's the deal. And the First Amendment is a done deal. And that's what we toast tonight, the freedoms that brought us back together even after they were threatened. So let's raise a glass to what makes ours a beautiful
Is there
country.
any Democrats in the crowd, or only Trump supporters and Republicans? For this, it's mostly reporters in the crowd, so I think it's mostly people
Ladies
who
and
dislike
gentlemen, please join me
Trump
in welcoming
somewhat, to be honest.
the 45th
All right, here we go. Trump's coming
and
out.
47th President of the United States,
White House
President
isn't
Donald
even
J.
live,
Trump.
by the way. Bro, they're still playing his song. So far, AP is faster. I just find it so funny they're still playing his music, by the way, at this. Alright, we're staying on AP. AP seems to be pretty fast.
It was very beautiful, but this has not been an easy evening, all these awards. Do I have a say in those awards? Oh, those awards. But it's great to be back at a place that I know very well because I built it. And I'm very proud of it because I built it for $2.9 billion less than the Federal Reserve building, which is a lot smaller, by the way.
Powell joke.
Figure that one out. But I am delighted to be here at the White House Correspondent'S Dinner. Amazing people, a lot of people that I like. Some I don't like at all, but I respect most of them. I must say that you do a great job, amazing job, and it's an honor. As I said 3 months ago, the show must go on. We were backstage, and we both wanted to just have it go on, whether it was 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, it didn't matter.
It's so we're up to date.
But in the end, it made more sense to do it the way we're doing it. And we had a great news conference at the White House, in a very important room. And,
could be ballroom.
And you did very well. I think we all did very well. It was a hell of an evening, I can tell you that. Won't soon be forgotten.
I didn't start a timer.
And I think a lot was learned from that evening. A tremendous amount was learned about security and about other things, the dangers of what we all do.
Oh, God.
But just like my presidency, the second time
I did.
is always better. It's always better. And the third time will be better yet.
Wow. Third term joke.
I'm only kidding. From the earliest moments after the attack on our dinner last April, I knew we had to reschedule this event as soon as possible. We had to do it very quickly, and we met very quickly.
Could get a ballroom joke coming.
And we figured something out, but the attempted mass murder at the Washington Hilton, that's what it could have been, was an assault on our democracy itself. Very serious situation. Many of you were there with me, and some showed extreme bravery, like Pete Hegseth, Steve Miller, Tom Holman. Really?
Pretty unison.
They were standing on tables, and most of you were under the tables, okay? But they did. They showed. I saw every one of them that was standing up for those tables. I didn't know if they were brave, if they were smart, if they were stupid as hell, but they were on those tables in some cases, and there were a lot of different feelings going on in the room at that moment. But after hearing the gunshots, many people yelled, "Get down, get down," which caused Nicki Minaj to start twerking. Do you believe it?
What is this?
Get down.
See, this is what I was saying.
She's the only one
comedians writing the joke.
that really
and it not
understood
being
what that
Trump's
meant.
Jokes.
It's quite an evening.
These are comedian jokes, not Trump jokes. You can tell right now.
But tonight we come back together to answer that heinous attack with unwavering resolve. And every one of us here this evening to show that in America we do not yield to political violence. We can't do that. Can't do it. So in this country we believe in freedom of speech. We settle our differences not with bullets but with open and vigorous debate. And no deranged loser with a gun will ever change that. We can't let that ever happen. There are a lot of very dangerous people out there.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
still
we can't
that
let
we
it
need to
happen.
build a volume joke. I thought it would do it.
I want to begin by expressing our gratitude to the incredible men and women who put their lives on the line every day to protect my family and myself, all presidents.
Oh, no, here comes wife.
Lots of
Might be
others. That's the
Melania.
United States Secret Service. So I appreciate it
Good.
very much. And Sean and the whole group. Amazing job. Amazing job. In recent months, they've repeatedly responded to threats with speed and professionalism and extraordinary courage. And there is no better example of that than Officer Victor Gonzalez, who we just met. It was amazing. What he did was amazing. When the would-be assassin charged the checkpoint at speed, he was fast. You know, when you looked at that, you had to look at it about 10 times before you really saw what was going on. He was quick. Nasty. The gun made him nasty, actually. But Officer Gonzalez engaged the attacker without hesitation and took a bullet to the chest after his ballistic vest, fortunately, was on. It saved his life, and Victor did not even want to go to the hospital for a checkup. We insisted, really, we wanted him to do it. We insisted, but he didn't want to go. So to Officer Gonzalez, Secret Service, Metropolitan Police, law enforcement generally, and even all of the military surround us in the room tonight, we salute you and we thank you with all of our hearts. Thank you very much.
Is it even helpful for me to have a bad
Great job.
timer going?
Great job.
This timer's like at least a minute delayed.
Great job.
I'm feeling pretty good holding a ton of nerves yet, but it really hasn't gotten into the speech. We'll see. Maybe 2 minutes, Jeremy? Maybe a minute? Was it 3 to 4 minutes?
These are great people.
Just, you know what? Maybe I'm
So
going to
this evening we're picking up right where we left off, so let's have a little bit of fun. You know, I said, what do we do here? Is this supposed to be fun? Am I supposed to be serious? Am I supposed to be a comedian?
Oh, comedian.
So I guess you said maybe a little bit of everything. I know one thing I could never have done, the speech that I had ready just a short while. Oh, that was going to be a doozy. I was so psyched. I was going to rip people. And I don't know, just something changed. And it's really for the better, but I just wouldn't want to do that. But we'll do a little ripping if you don't mind. But it is true. I said, how do we handle this? It's going to be a different kind of an evening, and it is. And in many ways, it's a more beautiful evening, actually. Everyone's looking really good tonight, and I know it was not easy finding shoes to go along with your bulletproof vest, which many people didn't want to wear because they'd rather die than look 20 pounds heavier. You know that, right?
Wow, still very.
We have that a lot. They put
These are
put
so
one
not
on me. I
Trump
said, "Are
jokes.
you sure I'm not wearing this?" No. You gain. You look exactly 20. They say, "Sir, it's about 21 pounds." I said, "Not good." But I want to thank the outgoing president of the White House Correspondent'S Association. Now, she won't admit it, and she should not admit it, but we sort of became friendly. You know, in times of stress, on occasion you become friendly. I have a lot of respect for Ouija.
Comedians use.
And I tell you, we went through a little bit of a war together. It turned out pretty good. It turned out pretty good
You could
because of a
still
lot of good
easily
people.
get fake news.
They stopped the tragedy.
Definitely could
So
easily.
I want to thank you very much. Fantastic job.
He hasn't even gotten into his central jokes yet. He's still talking about the last White House correspondent.
And Ouija worked extremely hard to ensure this dinner was rescheduled, and we want to just thank her family. I just met her parents, her children, her husband. What a perfect family. So it's really great. Thank you very much all for putting up with us, right? But let me also thank the incoming president of the Correspondent'S Association, Jackie Heinrich. She can be very tough as a reporter, I will tell you. She can be nasty. She looks so beautiful, but she can be so nasty. How could that happen? But she just got married to a very successful congressman, very good congressman. I'd like to have a couple of more votes from it. That's okay. On occasion, he shows a little independence. We don't like that. But now he's a very professional guy, and he loves our country. But that's a big thing. I just see what takes place. We're talking about what takes place to be in the position that you're leaving and that Jackie's coming into. And it's a lot of work, a lot of friendships, a lot of talent. And so, Jackie, congratulations. And congratulations are also in order for our favorite White House press secretary, Caroline Levitt, who just had her second child. Yeah. You and your husband. She's great. She's done a fantastic job. We all love her. She's done a fantastic job. She gets another one. She can be nasty.
This guy's slamming nasty.
But sometimes she has no choice, right? But Caroline may have one of the hardest jobs in the White House. She has to deal with all of you all of the time. And you can be very difficult. You can be very, very difficult people. But I'm probably being a little bit oversensitive. Sometimes I really do think that some of you don't like me. In fact, I read a report. I get 93% negative publicity. 93. So how the hell did I win the election by so much?
I know.
Think of it. I don't think that's true. I can't believe it's 93. In the 80s, maybe, but not 93. But this place is really the largest group of Trump derangement syndrome people.
Oh, there's TDS.
Ever put together at one time, I suspect.
TDS has hit.
Some of you are lucky that our last dinner was cut short because I had brought with me what would possibly have been. I'm telling you, I had something. I was going to go after you. I feel so badly doing this. It's going to be such a letdown. Oh, yeah.
I know.
Okay. But your lives were really in danger the last time for an opposite reason. But on the plus side, your careers were saved, and we really do. We have a complete and total. I love the words complete and total. They say, but it means almost the same thing. I said it doesn't matter when you say it. It's called emphasis. It's called emphasis. But everyone is now really warming up the new White House military-centered drone port, highly protected ballroom. We have a ballroom. The windows are this thick. I said to the people, well, if a bullet hits, what happens? Nothing. Nothing. It bounces right off, sir. This is the greatest bulletproof glass. I said, AK-47. That's supposed to be a big one. I don't know so much about the guns. My sons know a lot. But I said, I know it's big. What would happen? They go up, meaning it can take more. I said, so if I'm making a speech and I hear that pinging sound at a window, what would I do?
Dude, he's sitting on this.
Leave the room right away, but you can be safe. We're building something that's going to be amazing. And in light of what we went through, I think people understand it. It's going to be amazing.
He hasn't moved off this April thing yet.
A phenomenal, one of the biggest drone ports anywhere in the world, right on the roof, right protecting the White House, not only the ballroom. And what's underneath, it's supposed to be a top military secret, what's underneath, but then you get sued as usual, and you have to reveal that you're building this unbelievable situation downstairs with room after room of very complex stuff. It was the military's dream to have it built. I wanted to have a ballroom because for 150 years they wanted it. And then the generals came to see me and they said, sir, you're building something. This gives us an opportunity to do something that will be so unbelievable, never happen again. Because there's very little built under the White House, very hard to build under a very fragile building like that. It's very fragile, it's old, and a little different construction standards, frankly. And this is an opportunity for us to build something very powerful. I said, let's keep it secret.
So much time on the ballroom.
No, we're telling you, sir, let's keep it secret. And then we get sued and we revealed every room, We told the people that did the suit, and they're not good people. We told them, we said, you know, you're being very unpatriotic when you bring a suit like this, but it is what it is, but it's going to be, it's really going, it's moving fast. We're ahead of schedule. We're right on budget. And it's going to be something like, I think, no country has. I just visited China. They have this magnificent room, the Great Room. They call it the Great Room. It's a great room, but what we have is going to blow. There won't be anything like it. It's going to be fantastic. And with all of the things that are going along with it for safety and security of future presidents, you know, I'm only going to be using it for about 6 months, assuming we finish it right on time. I get to use it. Somebody said, he's building it for himself. I'm building it for the future. I'm not building. I use it. Now, had I not gone down 6 or 7 stories, then in that case, I would have been able to get a couple of years out of it. But that was far more complex.
It's definitely not
what we did downstairs than what we do upstairs. So we're very proud of it. That's going to be amazing.
We're not
and
anywhere
I think
out
I
of
was
the
just
woodshed.
telling
It's gonna be like 20 more minutes.
the whole group sitting at the table we were talking about it. I said, I think, you know, it's a White House correspondence, so I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to use that. It's going to be very large and very beautiful and very safe, and that's what you need. So I was thrilled to see that after witnessing the attack, even Democrat Senator John Fetterman told his fellow Democrats to drop the Trump derangement syndrome and build the White House ballroom. But it's much more than that. It's something that you're going to use. I predict that you're going to end up using it, and a lot of people are going to end up using it. They're going to be as safe as you can possibly be. But despite everything that happened at the previous dinner and all of the dangers involved, I'm told that this is still the hottest ticket in town. This ticket should get in tonight.
Wow.
Because it's a smaller room.
There's
It's a
the random hottest.
beautiful room. It's a
I
luxury
did buy
room.
hottest
See those
now. I was so
beautiful
scared
chimneys? I can
of,
tell you everything about them if you'd like to know. See that beautiful Capitol above? See the beautiful Capitol? See everything, the brass. Those chandeliers are great. I'm looking at it. I'm saying, I wonder if I could, you know, I sold this building. And they're doing a nice job, but they're nice people. But I'll tell you, I'm looking at it. I'm saying, I wonder if I could walk out with those chandeliers, because you can't buy them. They're very special. I won't tell you the fact. I won't mention that they're Czech crystal, because I'd like to say everything's made here, but they are Czech crystal.
All right, we're
And
like
they are
16
beautiful.
minutes in.
And the Waldorf people are doing a really nice job. We're proud
At
of them,
least
actually.
probably
'cause,
20 minutes or
you know,
so
when I
left.
left town, I was angry. I was a little bit angry. I was offered a nice price. I said, I'm getting out of that place. And then I said, let's make a comeback. And but I was very proud of this building. This building was hot. Remember the lobby floor? 82,000 feet. For those in the real estate business, 82,000 feet. That's a major floor. That thing was packed every single night. It was packed, mostly Republicans, I would say, but it was packed every single night. It almost brings back memories. But I left town, and I have just had nothing but good experience. And this might be the best experience of all, having all of these incredible people in this room. It's a great feeling, frankly. It's a great feeling. But tonight's event, thank you.
All right, he might get into it now. He's still been doing a lot of
But tonight's event is even crazier than the last time. In fact, it's so successful that I've been informed by CBS News' David Ellison, who's going to do a fantastic job. He's the owner. He bought it, spent a lot of money, and he's going to make, I think, fantastic changes and keep some of the great stuff going. But then next year, they're going to call it the Trump White House Correspondent'S Center. He told me that. And I like that very much. We're going to change the name of it, okay? Well, it's going to be so hot, just like our country is hot. We are hot, by the way. But to be honest, it's just about the only way that they're going to ever get me back here. You're going to have to change the name of the dinner. But how's that one going? Not too good. I hope that everyone finally got to enjoy their entire, very delicious beef tenderloins, very special beef. And I want you all to know that Bobby Kennedy, who's right here, personally ran over the cow in his car. And he cut it up and he brought it here for you to eat tonight, so it's very fresh. And Bobby also suggested an appetizer featuring his favorite cut of male raccoon roadkill. But we drew the line at that, Cheryl. We said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not doing that. We love Bobby. I'll tell you, he's a piece of work. You think it is fun, but he is a very different kind of a person. I will tell you. But he has what it takes, and he's smart, and he loves the country, and he wants people to be made to feel good. You agree with that, Bobby? He wants people to feel good, and he's doing a fantastic job. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. We can joke all we want, but thank you.
Trump's gonna make fun.
A lot's happened since the last time we were all together. Last month, we hosted one of the most incredible sporting events in world history at the White House, the UFC Freedom 250 fight, the UFC fight. When I announced that we're going to build a boxing ring right outside of the front door of the White House, I took a lot of heat.
No?
But it turned out that was, they say, about the most viewed fight in history.
I'm selling out of my World Cup.
It was beautiful.
I had a tiny bit of
So many things happened. It was supposed to rain. We're going to do it the week before, and the weather was beautiful.
Dude, thank God I didn't get
And the
filled
weather
on
came
UFC,
and it
no.
went.
I was going to
and
buy
now we
UFC
came up to
no
Wednesday.
at,
I said, sir,
70.
this was on a Sunday night.
Pro doesn't lag,
replacing
Jeremy. At least for tonight.
60 minutes, which is nice and unusual because usually it's Saturday night. And they said, sir, this was from Wednesday on. Tell me about weather, right? Sir, it's going to rain. I think you're going to have to. It's going to be one of the worst storms that we've seen in a long time. It's coming up the coast. It's going to hit you on Sunday night. It's going to be a disaster. I said, can you believe? And you saw the ring we built, Dana White, the great Dana White, and everything with the best fighters in the world. Turned out we had the best fights that most people have ever seen, including me. It was just a miracle. But what happened is we're waiting for this rain to come all day long, and it's coming, and it's horrible. And it's 8 o'clock, and we say, I think it hasn't rained yet. I said, maybe we should postpone it an hour. Maybe we should make it the next day. We didn't know what to do. And finally, we just said, let's just have it. And it never rained.
He did not say World Cup, but
perfect. In fact, the week before it was 92 degrees.
It
was nice, but it was.
And I'm like, if he's
this
going to
was
get
like
on a whole bit on sporting events, I dumped
72
my.
degrees,
I had some.
and the
World
rain
Cup
was
note that I
coming,
dumped.
and it came right over the White House, and it was like, thank you very much. It went like this.
Yeah, that's why I'm
and
using
other
it, Jeremy.
areas were drenched a few miles away. We didn't have a drop of rain, and it was absolutely one of the most incredible things anybody's ever seen. People said it's one of the most incredible nights of their lives. So just remember, before I came along, if you wanted to see someone lose consciousness on the south lawn of the White House,
this is Biden.
all you had to do is ask Joe Biden a question.
Yeah.
Remember that? Oh, you think I'm kidding? But the big fight was such an amazing success that tonight I'm pleased to announce that we're going to host an even bigger one right in front of the White House. Every Friday night, every Saturday night, we're going to have fights in front of the White House. But we do have something coming that's, and I'm only kidding. You know, the one thing about the press that I learned, don't be sarcastic. Because I'm a very sarcastic person, and I get sarcastic.
Okay, now he's going off topic.
And most people know that,
This
but
could
you
be
have
a
some
fake
bad people that
news.
will
Easily.
write it exactly like I say it. And I said I was
This could
only
be
kidding.
fake news right here.
But we are going to have Indy 500. Roger Penske's coming in mid-August, and they're going to have it all throughout Washington, the greatest cars, the greatest drivers in the world. And that's going to be something. Already they have over 350,000 people signed up, going down Pennsylvania Avenue, around the Capitol. And Roger, who's incredible, he won the Indianapolis 500 20 times. Think of it. Germany, Japan, all these countries, they spend billions and billions of dollars trying to win the Indy 500, and Roger wins it. He literally won it 20 times. On the 18th time, I said, you know, that's amazing. I'm going to give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And I had him up. And then he won it 2 times after that. The guy's amazing. And he lost the last one by about 6 inches, if anybody watched it. So they're coming here, and it's going to be something really exciting. We have unbelievable events. It's an unbelievable country. And on July 4th, we were over at the mall.
This is going to be 250.
And it was raining. It was supposed to be really bad.
He already hit 250.
Again. And we had 450,000 people show up, and that's a light number. And I was told, sir, we're going to have to cancel the event. This was not good. And it was drizzling a little bit, not raining very hard. And people are calling me, friends of mine were calling me. And I got a call from Brett Baer. Brett Baer said, it's not raining. I said, where are you? I was standing at the mall, and I'm waiting to go in the White House. Then others called up. They said the same thing. And I said, you know, this is terrible. But there was lightning, not big lightning. But you don't have to have big lightning. Just have to, it takes just a little bit to do some big damage. So they said everybody must leave. 450,000 people were forced to leave, and they left. And then I said to myself, I said, let me call up and find out what the hell's going on. And I called up and I spoke to a brilliant young man.
All right, so we're
said,
what,
don't
like
worry about it,
24 minutes in?
sir. We can do it in a couple of weeks. I said, you can't do it in a couple of weeks. This is the 250th birthday. In 2 weeks, what are we going to do? Say, let's go? We're going to have a redo? No. I said, I'll speak if I have to speak at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I don't care. Call them all back. They're all gone. 450,000.
Could be long because he is
And
rambling.
most of them were in cars or
If
heading
he
back
has
to
a script
Texas.
He's
and
trying to speak.
it was
to,
sad.
It seems like he's rambling off the script
And
a lot.
we said the show must go on. Very much like here we said the same term, right? The show, it's a great term. It's true in life. The show has to go on. The show must go on. And I said the show must go on. I put it out on Truth. The show must go on. And we had probably, Peter, 150,000 people come back up higher. Maybe, thank you. Let's stand up here. Tell them. More, right? It might have been more, but it was amazing. It was just an amazing crowd. And actually worked out better, a little like this. It worked out better than if we had done it at the normal 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock time. It was incredible. We started speaking at 11 o'clock in the evening, but tremendous numbers of people. Thousands and thousands came roaring back, and it was a great evening. And it was a celebration. And we didn't do it the following day, and we didn't do it 2 weeks later. We did it when we were supposed to do it. It was a fantastic celebration. But I can exclusively reveal to you this evening that for the heaviest of the heavyweights, we will have sloppy Chris Christie, one of the sloppiest human beings you'll ever meet, fighting, I would say, I could mention the governor of Chicago, but I'm going to mention instead Jerry Nadler. And they're fighting for a big piece of cheesecake, big fat piece of
What is this joke?
cheesecake. Who the hell wrote that line? But it is true. And then you have a Congresswoman, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh, communist. Communist is
AOC
coming
plus
up
3.
here.
That's their 3 friends, right?
Probably.
AOC plus 3, and I watched her give that answer when she was over in Europe. It was not a good answer. If I ever gave that answer, I would be out of politics. Remember, you cannot have a 19-second wait time.
I was thinking he could make a comment.
Answer really a very quite simple question. But we'll then have a rematch against an extreme, simple question on a foreign policy from Munich Security Conference. It was a big security conference, and this was our first time up in terms of that. And we had a sort of little preview, and then Anderson Cooper is going to fight Lawrence O'Donnell. I'm not a fan of Lawrence O'Donnell. I like Anderson, actually, because he's covered me well for many years, and he went bad as soon as I went for politics. But for years, he loved interviewing. I did so many interviews with him, and he was great. But, you know, he's got a little different persuasion than me in many ways, actually. And Lawrence O'Donnell, never liked him, never thought he had any talent. But he's still making a living, so I can't knock it. But we had a contest for who had the lowest ratings and the lowest IQ on television. Oh. And that was actually Don Lemon, I think. You know, when I said that he's the dumbest man on television, I said, you know, when you say some things, you never make a comeback. It's not like, oh, gee, hey, Don, let's have dinner some night.
No one's laughing.
But I know what I'm saying.
In the audience.
And then you have Bette
They're
Midler
trying so hard.
and Jane Fonda actually held a concert to protest the first UFC fight. They didn't want to see the fight. Very few people want. They held an event. Like 3 people showed up, and given the choice between seeing some of the really beat up faces of the UFC, almost everyone chose the people in the UFC. It was between the 2 of them of the UFC. And what about Bruce Springsteen? What the hell happened to that guy? He looks like hell. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not supposed to say. I'm sure he doesn't like the way I look, but I don't look so bad. But at a recent concert, Bruce, all he did was talk politics. He ought to run for office. That'd be interesting. But all he talked about, he made 4 political speeches in his 3-hour show. The tour has been renamed Bored.
All right, we're like
27,
in the
28
USA minutes in.
And his new song was so bad that Chris Christie, who's like a fan, you know, he goes out and tells everybody how he hates Chris Christie. Keep that guy out of my... And I see Chris Christie there again, high-fiving Bruce Springsteen in the aisle. And Bruce Springsteen saw him and didn't even lift his hand up. And I just wanted, because I used to be friendly with Chris. Chris, when somebody doesn't like you, write them off Forget it. You got billions of people in the world. You don't have to make a jerk out of yourself. But usually a comedian hosts this dinner, and I think we sort of changed it. Tonight we're going to have somebody who I think is really spectacular, but I've watched comedians get up for the dinner, because I have been here actually quite a few times, people don't realize. And there's one time in particular when Barack Hussein Obama hosted it. Do you know who that is?
He's going back to VHO. He's going back to the infamous moment.
He hit me hard, but actually he hit me with respect. I was sitting with Melania at a table. And
Melania!
You had Brooklyn Decker, supermodel, at a table right next to her. And I really always will like her. She's married to a great tennis player, Andy. And she was at the table, not at my table. And I have watched this clip thousands of times. They keep playing it because they think that was the evening I decided to run for president. It was not. In fact, I loved the evening. I looked at my wife. I said, "Can you believe it? All these people, that's all they're doing is talking about me. I love this dinner." It's true. And Obama was nice. It's amazing how things work out. He actually showed a picture of the White House with a big Trump on top. Like I put a sign, and I'm sort of doing that when you think about it, right? I mean, he wasn't really wrong. But no, he was respectful. He was good, but it had nothing to do. It had nothing to do. I just decided that I wanted to make America great again. This had nothing to do with that dinner. I've gotten so many. I've gotten so many calls, and for years they've been saying, "Was that the moment you decided to run?" Really, no. I left that night, and the press was there. A lot of the same people that I see. They said, "Did you have a good time?" Unbelievable. And some thought I didn't have, but I did have.
Dude, this is gonna go long, by the way.
I always remember though, Brooklyn. She was so angry. She was much angrier than me. She was angry. She thought they were mocking me, and they really weren't. It was just one of those things, and I had a great time. But I left, and I thought I was there 3 or 4 times before that. But I sort of thought, wow, that dinner is really something special. And then I ran. I got elected. I thought the press treated me very, very unfairly.
Here comes fake news, potentially?
I don't know. I think I made the right decision because you hate to go where maybe you're not wanted, but they did want me. They wanted me for ratings, and they wanted me for other reasons, but not for love. And I said, I'm not going to go. First time that ever happened, I think. Was that the first time? Just about. Presidents always came. And I didn't go for 4 years because I got treated terribly by the press. In my opinion, unfairly. I know unfairly because I know the facts, but I got treated unfairly. I didn't go. And this year I was called by your...
Pretty big first-term dodge there, too. I thought there was a good chance you could talk about it.
Your president and your chairman and all of the people, and they said, "We'd like to do it." And I said, you know what? With time goes by, time passes, and you sort of look at life a little bit differently. I said, let's do it. And I didn't know it was going to turn out the way it did. It turned out to be the biggest event in the history of your day. That was by far the biggest, right? For all the wrong reasons. But as I said before, a lot was learned from that evening. So much having to do with so many different things, including security. But it's an honor to do it. This is my first. I mean, I've been to it numerous times, but as president, I haven't been here. And I'm glad. And they said, would you do it next year? I said, I will be back next year. Now, if you get really, really nasty, maybe not. I don't know. But we're going to be back next year. And
all right, he's coming back next year.
Well, Jackie will treat me very badly. But this year, the association decided not to have a comedian, so they considered using Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. These guys, they're terrible. They're terrible. Stephen Colbert. These are people without talent.
Too.
They get a lot. They have talent. You know who has talent? Their agent, getting them the money they get. They have no talent. But they are not comedians. They're not funny people. They're angry people. They're sick people. But the association really put on a big show. And they have somebody very special. I look forward to seeing him. And so they thought about going with a professional clown for entertainment. But Adam Shifty Schiff was not available. He's known. I called him. I hate some people. I shouldn't say this. I'm president. I'm not supposed to hate. I'm supposed to love everybody. But he's a terrible person. He's a liar. And I called him Watermelon.
A little hard.
Head because he has the largest head I've ever seen with the smallest neck, pencil neck. How does that big, fat, ugly head stand on a little pencil neck. And then I'm told that even Rosie O'Donnell reached out from Ireland. She really wanted to be here in order to honor me. She loves me very much. And she was desperate to come back to the United States and pay her respect to Donald J. Trump.
Yeah,
but
we're
that
at
didn't
like
work out,
33 or
unfortunately,
so.
because nobody wanted her to
I
come
feel like
back.
this is gonna go
But
pretty
she's
long.
one of the greatest sufferers of Trump derangement syndrome. She's a sick young woman, sick older woman, I guess. Now I have to say. So instead, we're honored to have, for entertainment, the very talented mentalist, Oz Perlman. Oz Perlman.
O's? Why not Oz? Is it really?
And everything to everybody, they said, are you going to stay? I said, yeah, I'll stay. I mean, I think I'll stay. What the hell else am I going to do? I've got Iran, I've got this, I've got that, which is all going extremely well. Don't believe the fake news.
There's fake news.
You know, it's the only thing I've ever, we were talking before, I said,
Iran.
so we've hit Iran very hard. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. 250 jets, no longer.
Can be oil in Venezuela.
9 boats. Good boats. In fact, I said, why the hell didn't we keep them? We could have used them. But 159, but all at the bottom of the sea.
Wow. He didn't
They have
even,
no
like,
radar.
mean to get
They have very
there.
few drones left, despite what you see. And every once in a while, they're going to set some things up, but they don't have much left. And by the way, they are talking to us right now. They'd love to make a deal. I don't think they're ready to. I don't think it's time yet, but I'm willing to listen. But they cannot have a nuclear weapon. We don't want to see Washington, D.C., or any of our cities, or Israel, or frankly, the Middle East destroyed with a nuclear weapon, because I know the power of nuclear weapons. I see it. I get to see it. We're not going to let that happen. So this is all about, we will not let them have a nuclear weapon. And they would use it. They would use it if they had it. But Oz, I do have one question about what happened that time, because he was there. How the hell did you not see that coming? He sees everything.
Okay. And now
He
it's
sees
off.
He's telling me about your grandmother and your this. Why the hell didn't we
Thought he
get
might get into it.
ask him that question when he gets up here? Why didn't he see that coming? But of course,
Now
this
he's off.
evening, it's really all about the fake news media and your handling of prizes, and writing and producing and performing made-up stories like the Academy Awards. You know, Academy Awards used to be the epitome of ratings outside of the Super Bowl. It got the second most ratings. Now it's down in the dumps. Nobody wants to watch it anymore because they took on Trump. They hit me all night long. They hit me. The winner is so-and-so. I want to talk about Donald Trump. I hate this man. Nobody wants to hear this stuff. Right, Peter? Nobody wants to. You ever see the ratings? They used to have 48 million people. Now they have 2 people watching. But they'll learn their lesson. But I want to personally congratulate CNN's Caitlin Collins on receiving her award. It was all about me. It's a fake. She shouldn't get the award. It was a fake, but I didn't mind. I said, Caitlin, congratulations. But it was fake. There's no question about it. But she's a young,
this is getting awkward.
attractive woman. She
really
never
awkward.
smiles. I said, Caitlin, do you have a smile? Smile. You have a nice position. You're at CNN Fake News.
So
You should be
awkward.
a happy person. So smile, Caitlin. Just smile. But we attack, and I thought Caitlin had really made it big with a major new sponsorship, but then I informed her that it wasn't her on the Bud Light can. It was Dylan Mulvaney. And Dylan Mulvaney cost Bud Light $35 billion in market cap. That was the worst commercial ever made, by the way, for those few people that
Could this be trans?
want to hear that. Most people don't care, but I would. I wouldn't want to hire Dylan anytime soon. Think of it. They hired Dylan Mulvaney, and their market cap has gone down by $35 billion. Who wrote that commercial?
Weird.
And then you have writer Josh Dorsey. He also received. He's been killing me for years. No, he's been. And yet tonight he shakes my hand. He hugs me. Everything nice. He kills me. Josh is amazing. He writes more stories than any human being. There's nobody that writes more than Josh. He'll write 4 stories about me a day, all different subjects. I mean, I had the other day 3 stories, and one on the. He was upset about this. 1 was on page 7, 3 were on page 1. They were all written by Josh. But he's hit the big time, and he's a workhorse, and yet.
Yeah, this can easily keep going.
He's almost
He's been
unhirable. You know,
rambling
you
so
hired.
much.
He's just one of these guys. Wall Street Journal's lucky to have him, but you really, it's unbelievable. He's almost unhireable. CNN is also here, and I'm very disappointed they didn't bring fake Tapper because he's had a rough couple of years, fake has. You know, he calls me up every once in a while. If I pick it up, I pick up my phone. I used to go to this young lady. I'd say, any calls from the press? No, sir. I said, oh, now I'm the president of the United States, right? I'd say to Stephen Chung, is Stephen here someplace? Where's Stephen? He's one of the toughest human beings I've ever met. Don't ever wrestle Stephen, you'll be in big trouble. But I say, Stephen, let me ask you, did the press call? No, sir. You know, when I was a developer, I'd get a call every half an hour. For whatever reason, I always got disproportionate press. So I said, Stephen, nobody called? No, sir. 2 hours later, I say, hi, Steve.
Yeah,
Everything
these
good?
jokes
Anybody
are
call?
like,
No, sir,
I think
no
he
press
means
calls.
for them to be soft,
I said, I'm
they're
president.
like
No.
very awkward.
They never call. So this went on for about a week. I'd say, Caroline, did the press call? No, sir, no calls. I said, nothing. That's over a week. I haven't received a call. So I said, you know what I'll do? I'm going to give the press my phone number. That was the stupidest thing.
I only heard
I ever
Iran
did.
once. I heard
I'm getting a
Iran
call
once,
every 3.7 minutes.
and then Iran once.
Stephen, I don't know where the hell you've been, but the press calls. I'm getting calls, ring, ring. I was with somebody today. They said, I've never heard a phone ring as much as it's fresh. Now, I look at the thing and usually just delete, delete, delete.
I think he only said Iran
Every once in a while,
Adam, are you
it'll
counting
be
when
one
he
of the
said
people in this room that I
Iran
like.
for like election?
I'll pick it up. Like
I'm
this
pretty
one right
sure
here
it's only
calls me
once,
on
but
occasion, right?
Let me know if I'm wrong.
She'll call me and says, hello, sir.
Because
How
he
are
said
you?
I space ran.
We want to
once
talk
as
about some
well, but that one counts
horrible
for Iran.
subject, like a horrible, depressing subject. I say, Jackie, I don't want to talk about it. Congratulations, however, on your new marriage. But I don't want to talk about it. But it's true. And people call me now. And so for weeks I go, no calls. And I learned then that both of them, they feel that I'm doing a great job. And they feel I'm above it all. And that no person, hundreds of people call no person,
said Iran
is
back
good
to back
enough to
during the
talk to
nuclear
Trump.
part? Okay. Okay.
And so we don't even bother telling you. That's not the way it works, Caroline. You have to let me
only
know
heard it
because
once, but
sometimes I do like to speak
he
to the
did
press.
say
So now I have the
ran
best estimate
in the like I space ran
I've ever
once,
had.
so that's why
It rings, and just so you understand, you're much better at putting your name because if there's no name, I just can't do that. You know, I pick up every once in a while. Hello, I'm from Reno, Nevada. We're a startup paper.
Maybe I'm wrong.
We're calling us
I'd be surprised it's priced
the
where it is if
Reno
he's really
Express.
selling
I
twice.
said, do you believe I'm the president of the United States? Mr. President, could I have your views on Iran? And I just hang up.
What was that?
No, I get the craziest calls. I mean, some of them. My wife said, I can't
Correspondent
believe
now.
you do this. This is a hell of a way to live. But sometimes they get calls from very important. Sometimes I can straighten out stories that are going to be fake, and I can make them from a
So,
fake
I
story
guess
to a
that
good
was
story.
3.
I always find that when you don't speak to the
I
press, you
guess.
always get a bad story. When you do speak to
I
the
don't
press, you
know
have a
why I only heard it once.
shot at getting a good story. Oh, look. No, look, if I were a reporter, and let's say I'm a big reporter, I work for the failing New York Times, or I work for, well, I don't know, do they ever come to these dinners? Didn't they cancel out a long time ago? Big mistake. They should be
Wow.
here. But I get a call. I've always found that, you know, speaking to them,
I mean, I trust
you just
this.
do better.
It's 90K bonded.
You do better when you can, when you have the time. You speak to the reporter. You treat the reporter with respect. Sometimes now there are reporters where it doesn't matter. You can be so nice to them it doesn't matter. You get treated unfairly. But you have a lot of great reporters where when you speak to them, you can get your point across, and that's a good thing. But some people say that Jake Tapper is a great investigative reporter in
Dude, we're
D.C.,
at, like,
and that's why
42 minutes. This isn't even.
after moderating our debate, it only took him 1 year to break the story
No,
that
it must have been 3. It's bonded.
Joe
for
Biden
3.
might possibly have suffered from cognitive decline. Took
Oh, this could
him 1
be,
year. He wrote a book about how great he
Biden.
was mentally, not too good. And I don't like Biden because Biden was very unfair to a lot of people. But Jill Biden insists that Joe
I mean, if
would
he's getting on
have
top of
beaten
that
me in
Biden, man.
2024, even though he was way down. She said he was way behind in the polls because he was seriously ahead. She felt he was going to win because he was seriously ahead on deceased voters. He was leading in the deceased crowd, and there were a lot of them. You're finding out there's a lot of them. Look at the numbers that just came out yesterday. And it's traditional that at least 1 or 2 potential presidential hopefuls attend the Correspondent'S dinner, but many of them seem to have really chickened out. I was disappointed that Gavin Newsom
didn't
show up. He didn't show up. He should be here. But I heard that he recently said that we will lose our country if we don't fight fire with fire. And to be fair, there's only one thing we know about Gavin, and that's that he definitely doesn't want to fight fire with water. He's got a lot of water, never uses. What a disaster. That should have never happened. But Gavin Newsom recently did a career-threatening, one of the worst interviews I've ever seen, where
This is going to be the thing
said
where
that
he says he can't read or whatever.
he can't read a speech.
Yeah.
He's incapable of reading a speech. He's a low IQ person. He's smarter, however, than all of the people in the room. And then he gets sued for being a racist, okay, when he said that. But he basically said he has various mental incapacities.
I'm surprised. These are
He has
definitely
difficulty in various other ailments mentally.
more Trump jokes.
I'm looking at it saying, this is the worst interview. I'm watching this interview. I said, this is the worst interview I've ever seen given by a professional politician. I've been watching politicians for a long time, mostly on the previous side, because I haven't been doing this too long. How am I doing? Not bad for the number of minutes spent. Not bad, but with Gavin. So he said that all these things, and I said, anybody running against him, all they have to do is take that one interview and you can't lose. I actually put out a statement that Gavin Newsom has come out and said he will not be running for president because nobody can say what he said about himself and survive. Newsom was in big trouble when he openly admitted that Kamala was smarter than him. She said Kamala is smarter. If Kamala is smarter than someone, you don't want that person to be president of the United States of America. Between California's policies of enabling wildfires, paying drug addicts to be homeless, giving free sex changes to illegals, and telling rich people they're going to take away, all of your money is going to be taken away. People are fleeing, and they're fleeing in droves. We can't have that in this country. It's becoming such a horrible and dangerous location that Ilhan Omar, one of my favorites, and her brother are thinking about moving together, very much in love. The video has surfaced recently of Ilhan giving a speech referring to World War II as World War XI.
Dude, I can't believe
they asked her about that. She still thought she got it right.
Writers.
But I'm not surprised because she's a low
Trump
IQ
jokes.
person, and she's also a very dishonest person. And she ought to get the hell out of our country. She shouldn't be here. She shouldn't be in our country. She also calls her brother husband number one. Omar is reportedly being investigated for fraud. She revised her net worth. I was shocked to see that she was worth much more than $30 million.
Crazy.
And then when the press got on her, she revised it slightly downward to less than 18,000. So she went from much more than 30 million to 18,000. And I know Democrats, and the word Democrat is something that's come into fashion. I changed the E with a U, and most people don't know that dumb has a B, so we don't have to worry about that. It's very quiet. I thought it was quite good, but I haven't gotten much credit for that. Fake news, good. Pocahontas, good. I won't say Lion Ted because he's on my side. I don't talk about past conquests, but we have a lot of them. I won't talk about that. I got a whole table full of Republicans there. They're saying, no, don't mention my frickin' name, will you? Please? But we've had a lot of good names. But the Democrats are there to destroy wealth, and honestly, they've gone absolutely crazy. Gavin Newsom's not only a man who really
Could easily get
wants
into communism, no?
to run for president, he's doing a bad job running a state. You can't have somebody like a J.B. Pritzker, who I understand is not present, sadly, but some people say, never use the fat word. And I don't. I would never call anybody fat. I have my own problems. It's not like I'm perfect. Sir, in the back, don't call him a fat pig, okay?
Self-control in the beginning of this.
Sticking up for him.
And
Don't
he's
call him
just completely
you can't do that, sir. You can't call
Like he came out the first 25
J.B. Pritzker a
minutes,
fat
and
pig.
that was like,
Please.
Oh my
All right? Thank you.
Bro, what is this?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
He was
Everyone's
like
trying to figure out who is that
able
guy,
to
does he exist?
contain
But the
himself
nice
the first 25 minutes.
part is when you do that, the press can't get you. Because I'm defending a
And
man
now, towards the end, he's just going.
who obviously has a problem. Actually, he's lost a lot of weight. I saw him recently. He
It's
lost quite a bit of weight. I
silent
don't know what
in
the hell.
that
He's got no
room.
chance, believe me. Anything he does, family threw him out of the business. A number of other potential Democrat contenders sadly refused to show up tonight. We invited Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. She's referred to Pocahontas because, in fact, I had to apologize. People came up and they said, we want you to apologize to Elizabeth Warren for calling her Pocahontas. And I ended up apologizing to the real Pocahontas. But Elizabeth Warren was supposedly of Indian heritage. And then she took the test and she only had 1,024
He's using like
Native American. And I said, you know what? I think I'm more of an Indian than she is. So this is what we have to deal with. But Senator Warren did not accept our invitation to debate. I wanted to debate her on various and sundry things, and she decided not to do it. And I decided to bury the hatchet. It doesn't matter. And she, well, I'm not going to say this next one. You want to hear this one? How bad? She wasn't high up on her totem pole. Who the hell wrote that? No, she's bad news. I wanted to make sure that Jack Smith, deranged Jack Smith, remember he went after me for about 2 years. How did he?
Oh, this is hoax.
Do not too good. I'm in the White House and he's not doing as well. I was going to say he's in a different kind of a house, but he's a deranged human being. He's a bad
right? Didn't he
prosecutor.
Go after him for
you know, prosecutors are very important.
Or something, or no?
A great prosecutor, a fair prosecutor.
Or no, I guess I'm
but
wrong.
that's the great prosecutors, the ones that are fair. They're very
Maybe
important to a
wrong.
country. But this
I thought that Jackson
guy was a deranged lunatic.
Maybe
So his
I got Mueller
invitation tonight, he was invited because, you know, but I put it in a private text to Chuck Grassley. And Chuck saw him and he did a certain thing. And then one man that we had who should be here, he turned Palestinian.
Immediately. Oh, he's going to talk about...
This was a man who was 100% for Israel. 100%. Chuck Schumer, crying Chuck.
Yeah.
Remember he cried at the airport over illegal immigrants.
He's just talking about...
They were the fakest tears. There were people throwing water in his face.
He's literally just
But
doing
now he's a
rally
proud,
jokes.
very proud Palestinian. In fact, I'm going to send him a beautiful Palestinian outfit tomorrow so he can greet Bibi Netanyahu when he comes to town next week, along with the mayor, who I'm sure would love to meet Bibi.
Oh, this is
they're not treating
communism,
Bibi too
potentially?
well, but Chuck wanted to join us
Goes
tonight,
to Mamdani,
but he didn't
or-
want to be violating many parts of the Palestinian rules, regulations, and
Is he
certainly he
going to
didn't
get
want
onto
to
Mamdani?
violate Sharia law, his new founding. And all joking aside, I do think we need term limits in Congress. I think term limits are very important
No, he's off it.
because I see what's happening. The other day, a senator I knew got a text, a great guy, from his wife. And she said, when you get home, I want to have you immediately come up the stairs and make love to me. And he said, I can't do both. You know what? In other words,
All right, that
can't
was
go up the
actually a
stairs and
comedian joke.
make
dude.
love. Does anybody get that? Well, I thought that was actually pretty good.
This guy is...
That was actually the only thing I thought
This is painful, man.
was good in this whole freaking stupid speech that they wrote. That was the only good one, and that went down with not exactly great laughter. I think, in other words, you can't go up the stairs and make love, too, So we're looking for term limits. Does
Gaten, this is
anybody
very
understand this
unhinged.
stuff?
He was like the first 25
But I
minutes
really do wonder whether the
was like-
Democrats are trying to lose the midterms. In Maine,
Oh.
they nominated a
Okay, he's
guy
going to
with
get
a
on
Nazi
communism.
tattoo. But don't worry, Democrats. Word is that Plattner's replacement, he throws bottles at women. This guy throws bottles. This guy's another lunatic, by the way. Although I think Plattner might have done surprisingly well. Because we're in the age of Trump. Call it what you want. People can do well today. Plattner, I don't know. But, people don't have
He's got to get onto
the
the
guts to stick it
communists,
out.
right?
But it looked like he was guilty
it
of a lot of
just
stuff.
feels
He certainly
live,
didn't
but
defend
I don't
himself.
know, Let's see.
Well, in Texas, the Democrats are running a candidate named James Telefrico, who hates guns, hates oil, hates sex, hates women.
Oil. What a, God
and who said
damn
he
it, I just sold
is, quote,
oil.
a Christian who
What
hates
a crazy way to hit oil.
Christianity. Other than that, I think his platform is quite good. And that means that he's not going to do very well against
What
Ken
a
Paxton, who
random
hopefully
way
in
to hit
Texas is
oil,
going to
by
win.
the way. Hates oil. I've
Telefrico,
literally
he's
just
Alfred.
sold.
You know what he looks like to me? Alfred E. Newman. You remember Alfred E. Newman, Mad Magazine? I said, that guy is Alfred E. Newman. Can't imagine he'd win. While I have all of the press here in one place, I have to say that we're having an amazing load of accomplishments that the media never talks about. For example, under my administration, a once feared and powerful regime that relentlessly attacked America has finally been toppled. Their former leaders have been removed, and they're now being run by a gay dictator facing internal divisions. But
oh no, he's talking about
I,
Iran
for one,
here.
wish Barry Weiss all the best at CBS
People
News.
thought this was Venezuela, so they
She's a wonderful woman.
Venezuela. That's pretty funny.
Most of the press lives here in Washington, D.C., and you should be thankful for me for what my administration and I have done to make our nation's
that is very funny.
capital, which was one of the most
People
dangerous
started
and
mocking it on
unsafe
that,
cities
not
anywhere in the
realizing
world.
When he says a gay dictator, he's talking about the
One of the safest cities in the
Mashtaba.
United States. Crime is down 88%, and our capital is shining again with 62 monument statues, water fountains looking more beautiful. The graffiti's all gone. The tents are all moved out of the parks. The fences are all
We
done.
might get 60
Our
plus. I mean, this is
capital looks like it's really in good shape. And people coming here, people in the White House, they work in the White House, they all say, young women, young guys walk up. They say, thank you, sir. 2 years ago, we lived in a dangerous city. We lived in a city where 150 people were killed a year. And now we have almost a crime-free city. Our National Guard has done an incredible job, and we've removed over 5,000 career criminals. You know, we removed, there's one stat, I think it's a great stat. It's
so long, man.
It's to me.
Yeah. I can't believe I actually used the
2%
super
of
inefficient
the people
timing market to
create
like inform me playing
91%
the
of
actual
the crime.
mention.
That's
I thought this
something
would
you
be
can
like
fix, and we
30
fixed it. We
minutes.
moved out over 5,000
Stuff is
career
gonna be
criminals out of
so
Washington,
long.
D.C., and we have the greatest capital in the world. Again, it's beautiful, it's thriving, the restaurants are thriving. You couldn't get into a restaurant because they didn't have, all the restaurants were closing. And if you even got in, you felt unsafe. People were getting into Ubers and they were being attacked when they were in an Uber. It's not happening anymore. We have
You're still
tough,
holding
smart
medicine?
people, and they have done
I
a
got
fantastic
cooked in some
job.
of the craziest
Washington,
ways. Like Iran
D.C.
3
is safe
plus,
again.
the way that
You
hit
can't get
is
into a
just
restaurant. The restaurants are opening up. They're
insane.
opening up all over the
And then
city. They can't get.
Melania?
It's the exact opposite. They can't get space. But mostly, I've given up on you and the media, so that now I just gave up on you, and I'm number one on TikTok. Did you see that I'm number one, Stephen? Is that true? I'm number one on TikTok. Now, how can they be so bad? 520.
Aiden, he said one
Think of this.
self-deprecating joke in the
425
beginning.
billion views.
Literally,
Can you believe
and
that, Peter?
It's gone.
I mean, let's go, Peter. I
It's
gave up on you
painful.
people. I gave up on
And none of the
traditional
reporters are laughing. They're
press.
just
And it obviously worked because we did win in a landslide. I mean, somebody's got to be saying something good about me. But TikTok, good old
this is
TikTok,
so
and I was
painful.
able to get it sold to a group of very wealthy people, mostly Americans. I was told President Xi, who's a man that I get along with very well, he was a hard no for the sale of TikTok. They all said he's a hard no. I said, well, let's call it, put your group together. They put it together. The billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. I called up President Xi as their president. Look, these are American people. They're wonderful people. In fact, one of them happens to own CBS, actually. I mentioned his name. I said, these are wonderful people. And it'll be a good thing. Does it mean anything, President? It's nothing. It's nothing. They love your country.
Yeah, they're all swearing.
We'd love to see you approve the deal.
We're at like
And he
60
goes,
minutes.
All right. That was
Almost.
it. It was done. And we sold TikTok. And he's a friend of mine. And he's not contributing to problems like other people contribute to problems. So we get along. But we made the deal. But number one on TikTok is Trump, and that's probably why we won. But for all of the trouble that you give me, you give me a lot of trouble, a lot of heartache. I hope all of you know that I believe in the free press more than anyone in this room does.
He's rapping.
Maybe not quite. But that's why I'm proud to be the most open and transparent president in history. They called me that. You know who calls me that? Caroline. That's about it. So
Well,
would anybody else call me that? I think Peter would call me that. Am I the most transparent? Biden never used to answer your questions. He'd ask Biden 20 questions. He'd never get an answer. Who's the most transparent president, Peter? Who? I look at him. It's the first time he's tongue-tied. I cannot believe it. Oh, he's not going to be happy tomorrow. But you people have
What is
no
this?
idea how lucky you are when I'm gone. You're all going to be broke. your business model is going to be finished. No, it's true. When I'm not around, you're going to be broke. There's not going to be anybody to report on. Nobody gives a damn about anybody else. The New York Times the other day had 5 stories about me. You know, before I got into politics, in my whole life, I had 7 front-page stories. This is years of success. I think 6 were good, 1 was bad. I had 5 stories, 7, 5 good. Yeah, I had a total of 7 stories on the front page of the New York Times. That's not bad. Now I average about 3 or 4 a day. All different topics, all bad, everything bad. But here we are. I mean, here we are. In fact, when I'm finished, I'm going right back to the Oval Office. So I have to be doing okay. But we are all doing good together. That's why tonight, to show just how much I care about the press, and I want to save your ratings, I'm pleased to announce my intention to, and this is somewhat of a scoop, my intention to run for a 4th term as President of the United States. I will be doing that. I will be having an official, in fact, I think I have, yeah. I won 3 times. Now I'm going to do it again. Thank you. I'm going to do it. Should be easy. I'm getting very good at running for president. No, I won 3 times, did very well the 2nd time, by the way. It's a rigged election, but we don't have to talk about it. You know, it's interesting, when you come back and you do a good job like we did, you don't care about it so much, but we do have to tighten up these elections because they really are in seriously bad shape. But on a serious note, I want to say once again, I just want to thank you all. It's been an interesting evening. I didn't really know what to expect, and it's far worse than I actually thought, but if you want to know that. But I didn't know exactly what to expect, and I've made a lot of friends tonight. I've made a lot of good friends tonight, probably made some enemies also, but it's been an experience that is something that we've all shared together, because we're all in this room tonight because most of us went through a period of trauma from just a short while ago. And you know, some people said they wanted to come, but they were afraid to come, and you people weren't afraid to come. There were a lot of people that said, Jackie, they don't really, you know, they didn't have the courage to come. And we don't want that to happen. And I'm sure it's not going to happen. We're going to do things. Again, I want to thank our law enforcement.
I was also waiting
all
for
law
like
enforcement.
an hour and a half before this started.
We have the greatest people on earth. You know, we had 2 years ago, we had the worst record of recruitment in, as an example, the military, Army, Navy.
Okay, he's going back.
Air Force, Marines, the Coast Guard,
With
Space
like
Force. I love
like
Space Force.
hottest.
Look at all that shooting we're able to do from space. That was my baby.
This could even be like
But
a
all of
Venezuela
the
back or something.
branches of, you couldn't get people to join. This was 2 years ago. And last week, you probably saw, some of you wrote the story, we have the single best recruiting of people into our armed forces than we have ever had in the history of our country. They are brimming over with great people. And that's a big statement. And that also goes for the police departments, where they were having a tremendous problem recruiting. You can't get into a police department now if you're looking for a job. It's very tough. And that also includes our great fire departments, because people forget about them. They're unbelievable, the job they do. So I just want to thank you. Look, we're on the cusp of something big, and I call it, and this I'm being very serious when I say this, that this is the golden age of America. We have $19.2 trillion being spent in our country. A record was China. I think it was 10 years ago, 3 trillion. Trillion is a lot. 4 years, they went less than 1 trillion under Biden, and we have 19.2 trillion, and this is a period of actually 13 months, not even current, because we're here a little bit longer than that, but that was as of reporting dates. $19.2 trillion is being spent. Factories are coming to.
Oh, AI.
Toyota just announced they're going to be building the biggest car plant in the world. They're leaving Mexico. They're coming here. Tariffs did that. And maybe November 5th did that too, the election.
AI.
But our country is doing things that nobody's ever seen before.
Usually it's
and it is true. We were, and you've heard me say this, we were a dead country 2 years ago. Other leaders would see me,
yeah, he moved.
And they say it's a miracle.
It was
President
so
Xi told me that a few weeks ago in China, and he's coming here on September, I think, 24th. Coming in September, the end of September, going to be exciting. But he said the same thing. The king of Saudi Arabia said it. Everyone said almost the same words. We thought you were a dead country. We never thought you had a chance. You were never going to make it back. And in a period of a year, in 1 year, you made it the hottest country anywhere in the world. We all did that together. It's not me. We all did it together. And we do. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and we're going to keep it going. And I just want to say, it is a room. I have tremendous respect for the people in this room. Sometimes I don't feel you treat me fair. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I don't feel that. But sometimes you treat me very fairly.
Wow.
And I have a lot of respect for your profession. Your profession's amazing. And I just want to thank you for having me. And it's been fun. And I've met a lot of great people. And, you know, I used an expression, and I've used it right from the beginning. I did this for one reason, to make America great again. And that's what's happening right before your very eyes. We have made America great again. It's going to get a lot greater.
All right, that's it.
So thank you all very much. It's an honor to be with you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow. For what it's worth, he could say something else if, like, Oz Perlman or whoever talks. You know, like, it could not be fully dead. I don't know. I would just be careful, Bonnie knows. I got pretty
People asked me.
rinsed on this. Let's calculate how rinsed. Let's see. Plus 650 plus 275. So about 1,000 there, minus 4,500, 5,100. I lost like 4,800, maybe. Yeah. Good night, Gaten. Imagine Gaten watching that, sitting through that, and then on top of that, you lose like 5K. That's the life of being a mentions trader. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. In retrospect on this, like, most of what I lost on was Melania, and I think my Melania buy was like super plus EV, no Melania. The way it hit was like pretty insane. The White House Correspondent'S dinner, and then he randomly throws in Melania was sitting next to me. He didn't thank Melania, didn't mention her not being there. So I think it was clearly a good buy. So I you know, I'm not knocking that at all. And then Iran 3 Plus. Iran 3 Plus was so good. He said it exactly 3 times, and like the ways he hit it were just crazy. Like this guy struggles to say Iran 3 times in like an Oval Office lately. So, you know, no, I lost because I was mostly on Melania no. I had like 6K Melania no. I mean, because I got it at 60 cents. I thought fair value was like 75, which I still kind of think it was. I mean, he hit it in like a pretty crazy way. But I don't know. And then, yeah, I thought Iran 3 Plus was really good. Some bad ones I did buy. I did have some nasty no and some Hell 5 Plus no. Those were actually bad buys. So I could have done better by not bleeding it. But I didn't have that much on those. And then I think Fake News no was a good buy. As stupid as that sounds. Like, dude, for the first off, the main reason I priced this so wrong too, somewhat, I guess, is that I thought this would be 30 minutes. Or not 30, but I thought it'd be like 30 to 40, which I guess was just naive. So I think I didn't expect how long it would be. And I should have probably just factored that in. But Fake News no was actually like pretty, I think, good buy for what I paid for it. I mean, it lasted very long. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was like 95 this whole time. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, probably. But like, he made it like 28 minutes in. I felt like it could have easily been what we saw like the first 25, 28 minutes in. I almost feel like that's what it was supposed to be. Some like super lighthearted thing. And then it felt like he just like lost conscience of like where he was and what the goal was, and then just went completely off the deep end. But I don't know. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I'll be streaming next week. I'm gonna be super busy. Well, I'll be traveling a bunch next few weeks. I'm gonna see, but we'll be back as always. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Take care.